All right, hello and welcome to the CGL Summer Series North American Grand Final. I'm Yelkreb, joined by my good buddy Neely, and it's great to be here for this one. This is finally for all the marbles. We've been doing this, it seems like all August long, and this is what it comes down to for a total of a $500 prize pool. 20 teams are going to duke it out today. Neely, who are you looking to see that's popping off on this 20-team leaderboard?
Well, obviously, last week we got to cast the absolute star-studded run of literally vibing, but it seems like they're going to have some more competition coming up today, Yelk. It seems like they're going to be
So
running
much more.
into uh, Dark Matter. I'm trying to think of some of the other teams. CCO. I mean, there's a bigger list of teams that are in that top five that are going to give literally vibing a big run for their money. Backburner, that's another really good team. Kind of, I feel like Backburner is on that same level as Buff Pathfinder. Maybe not the all around team that just does really good at all parts of the game, but they're really good at killing people. And that is a giant part of this game, is killing people and winning fights. And I think Backburner and Buff Pathfinder are two of the best squads at doing that.
They definitely are. And what's interesting about this final 20 team is last week, obviously, we casted Group A for North America, and there was a Group B of 20 more teams.
I
And
know.
three of the top five teams today are in that Group B. So you didn't even get to see them last week. Dark Matter Perp and Backburner are 2 and 3. But we've got some literally vibing stats up on the board for you today. And you can just see this team collects the kills. Jaren the Gibby, he's got 22 through the tournament. C Die, I was told that's how you actually say his name, Neely. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. See,
Oh,
Die, not Sadie. They reached out on Twitter. They were like, "Hey, you've been saying it wrong." So
oh,
see, Die.
I thought that was a pretty cool name way to say it. I mean,
I liked Sadie, but I mean, we got to get it right for him. He's got
I
18 kills through the tournament, 8K damage, and then Banshee, the Octane, going fast, getting the most kills, 34 through the tournament, breaking 11K damage, closing in on 12, the leader for the tournament. They've got some competition though in Dark Matter Perp. That's another team that's really been chasing the kills. And in the games that we've seen them play in the qualifiers, it's actually been pretty interesting because they will go fragment every single time, and the respect they get on East and West is crazy. They will drop fragment and be the only squad there. I wouldn't be surprised to see it today, but also we've got some hungry teams that fill out this ladder, and they're going to be chasing down the leaders, trying to get them out of the game early to give themselves the best chance. So we could see some action in fragment that we haven't seen all summer.
I do wonder where some of these teams are going to drop, because between that Group A and Group B, there's going to have to be some swap ups. Some people like to go to the brand new Lava Siphon because it's the old sorting factory, and there was always a team that goes there. And it always seems to be a pretty dominant team that picks that location along with Fragment. Seems to be usually a rather dominant team, because if, let's say a weaker team or someone that these players consider a weaker team goes there, they might just challenge them and then take them out of the game. And you don't want to get taken out of the game by one of the better squads. It's the same reason why you probably shouldn't drop Fragment in ranked, is because people that are underranked are going to go there and try to kill you because they're trying to catch up real quick and they're just going to wipe you. So you got to find your new spot. And I guarantee a lot of people might be trying to bind for those spots. I know they've probably already kind of figured it out in some sort of chat. I always wonder how they do that. Do you actually know, yo?
I have no idea. I mean, they
No.
must just figure it out. But I know another thing we're going to be watching today is the head to head between these two Octanes.
Yeah.
Zerk for Dark Matter Perp, the 2 seed. He doesn't quite have the 34 bomb that Banshee's put up in this tournament, but I think we can kind of make the point that Group B might have been a little bit harder competition than Group A
Hmm.
last week. At least it seems that way with how these teams are shaking up on today's placements. But we're going to be watching that head to head. There's going to be a lot more that pop up along the way. Which players are popping off with the hot hand today? It's going to be pretty interesting. Neely, I'm kind of looking for your take. Other than literally vibing and backburner, I already asked you this once, but you've probably had a little bit more time to go over the teams now. Any other teams popping out on this leaderboard after the 5 spot where we get CCO Esports? Anyone after that 5 spot you think has a real good chance today to surprise some
After the
people?
five spot, I mean, honestly, Bert, it could kind of be anybody, because I know I should probably pick a team, but at the end of the day, you could take any of these top teams. They've all performed leading up into this point. Nobody just snuck in. The only people that probably snuck in are in that bottom five. But after that, each one of these teams have had their days and had their points where they kind of could make it happen on the final day. I think that's a big thing that we've come into speaking about this in other tournaments, it's like, yeah, you do good qualifying, you do good on the days before, but do you show up on the day, the time when you have to be there? And are you necessarily the best team? Not always. Sometimes you get that momentum, you maintain some consistency. Maybe the best team in the lobby's having an off day. Who really knows? I mean, there's so many different variables in a game like Apex. I mean, there's 20 different teams, that's 20 different variables. I mean, anything can really happen on a day like this.
You could say it's 57 different variables too if you count all the players,
Yeah,
but
other than
like you were
yourself.
saying, like when it comes down to the final day, back in the June Brawl, which was the last CGL Apex tournament, we saw United, the team that brought it home. They had their best day on the hardest day of the tournament when
Yeah,
things were supposedly the most competitive. I think they
yeah.
dropped a 23 bomb, maybe even a 28 bomb, just murdered the competition today. And that's what literally Vibing and Dark Matter Perp are hoping for today. Because if they don't do something like that, I mean, someone today is. We're gonna see the big kill games. There's gonna be probably a bit of a slow start as teams start to feel out the competition. But once we see how the scoreboard shakes out after map one, map two, and teams know that they've got to be a little more hungry for the KP to get those placement points and all that, we could see some big games. Some teams really throwing it against the wall to just try and bring home those 20 bombs and get their way up those leaderboards.
And honestly, also, who goes out first? Which one of those top five teams goes out first early, like 15th, just doesn't quite do what they are known to do? That's going to be a bigger statement than one of these top five teams making it to the top five. It's going to be more important to see who goes out early. Do Buff Pathfinder and Backburner have a harder time breaking top 10 now? Or let's just say literally Vibing goes out 18th on the first game. I mean, that is like just digging yourself a hole right there, making your squad ask a lot of questions. You got to wait around. You're getting cold. I mean, we can say for a fact, literally Vibing wasn't cold one time last time because they got second one time and they were just off rolling. And by off rolling, we mean meme picking. So,
Yeah, Mirage, Fuse, Rampart, the
yeah,
normal picks for
yeah.
a highly competitive Apex lobby. They're not going to be doing that today. If they do, I'll be shocked because
If
that is just BM at this point. I don't think a lot of teams on this list are going to let them. But to your point of getting knocked out early, we did see that kind of happen with Team Viral in day one.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, last week
second
they were
seed.
placed number two, yeah, the 2 seed, and then they fell off just 2 games. They didn't place like top five, top six in 2 games, and it killed their placement in today's qualifier. Placement today, it doesn't matter. We're playing 6 games no matter what, so we can just hone in this prize pool, make sure teams get paid the fair share. It's a $500 split between first, second, and third. First place gets $250, second gets $175, and third place gets $75. Everyone else, thanks for playing, but that's just the name of the game today.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, $25 a piece for third place, not too bad, Maybe
bad.
get a skin, get an Apex skin, look cool in the next tournament. Get it going. Tell your mom I made money playing video games,
Yeah, there you go. Even if it's just a $25 payday, that's
Yeah.
a start. Because how often do you really get the opportunity? You're playing on console too, not PC for the most part. These opportunities are few and far between. And if I got paid a $25 payday for playing some Apex, I'd be probably the happiest kid in the world for like the next week to come. I'm sure a lot of these teams are feeling that way just for qualifying for the final because
100%.
qualifiers, it was such a long journey. I mean, you had to fight week after week, it seemed like, and then there was already a day one. Qualifiers didn't even feel like they were over. Once you qualified for the Invitational, you still had to hurdle those 20 teams to get into the grand final where we are now. And it's been no easy task. And unfortunately for these teams that have been grinding, it's not going to be over until the 6th map is finally done.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for 20th place to kind of just stay in the
Hanging
line
there,
and think,
hanging there on map 5 and 6. Yeah,
we've been
could
in
be.
plenty of Overwatch scrims where people, it's going bad. It's a two mapper, we're out of here. We've given up. I don't think anyone's going to be giving it up because if you have made it to today, I mean, you've done well. You can't say you haven't done well. And I know for a lot of these players, this is the best way for them to play Apex. And there's no if, ands, or buts about it. Just scrims, qualifying, just whatever it is their favorite thing to do because, they can drop fragment and drop 20 bombs with 4Ks all day. They're all Preds. They're all really, really good players. I hate to say that that might get boring, but I think at a certain point, you
It probably
want
does.
it. I think it was Banshee talking about it. Maybe adding a gulag so that those better players could, in pubs, so that better players could get higher kill games, and just add more. Because everyone drops fragment, and it's over. But anyway, I'm sure we're gonna be getting to this new lobby very, very soon, or first lobby very, very soon here, Yelk. And
Yeah, game one should be starting.
Couldn't be more excited.
Any minute here. I'm
At
pretty
some
sure the
point.
players are getting ready. We'll be interested to see what legends people are picking, just to kind of speculate. I mean, we could see on the leaderboards in the head-to-heads that Dark Matter Perp and Literally Vibing, they've both got some pretty high level on the Octane.
Yeah.
Other than that, we can expect Jaren to be on the Gibby. Aside from those two legends who have been meta for so long, it seems like in high ranks, what else could we expect to see today? Some Seer, some Bloodhound?
Well, Seer just got a massive nerf, and I honestly, my heart of hearts is thinking we're gonna see a lot more Bloodhound. We're actually gonna get to see right now. I'm just sensing Bloodhound because the biggest change that we saw, and maybe a little Caustic. I'm seeing some Caustic picks, and Caustic, I've been noticing even in my ranked games, a lot more Caustic is getting picked. He is such a consistency game changer. I am seeing a ton of Caustic right now, Yelk. Everybody is running Caustic. No scan.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about it a lot. I mean, Caustic can kind of be a scan. You get into the gas, not the scan of the zone probably referring to, but you can give your team some information on where the enemy's at.
I was referring to like standard Bloodhound scan, not
not the zone scan.
Not the zone scan, which apparently a lot of teams are going to be opting to maybe not take. A team we were just on right there, I didn't get to catch their name, but they were going no rotation, Gibby, Caustic, and Bloodhound. Very, very surprising that on the last day, so many teams are going to be swapping it up. But I think everyone's starting to realize how good Caustic is this season. And let me tell you, I don't know if I'm happy about that. I've been enjoying playing Caustic myself, Yelk. Having a great time. Even playing him a little bit in pubs, even though it seems a little grubby. I've just been trying to get better at the character. But he seems so much stronger right now. And there's nothing better than to have a Caustic when you're running into a Caustic, because he kind of just neutralizes. He can go right through that gas and not really worry about it. So it's always a good counter.
Definitely a cool legend to see played at a higher rank, because we do talk so much, and you're going to hear it, Chad. We talk so much about respect and what that means in Apex.
Yeah.
And Caustic is one of those legends that just gets that respect right off the bat at a higher rank. If a team sees that they're rolling up on a Caustic, immediately they might rethink the fight, move around the building they were planning on taking. All sorts of things can happen just because of the presence of that legend. I don't think any other legend brings that kind of value to the table just inherently. We already see some shots exchanged between CCO Esports and someone else over here up in Skyhook. Gonna be interesting to see how this plays out, but really won't see our first fight for quite some time. I would be shocked if a team is that hungry for kills in map number 1 of our grand final.
Hey, yo, did you catch how many teams started in this? Because I'm seeing 18 right now, and I actually didn't get a look at number 19 and 20, and if maybe there was an early fight drop, but I highly doubt it. Our beautiful production team 100% would have caught it. So starting out with 18 right now. And Bursty, a nice guy to talk about now that we're on him, taking that 30-30 repeater, poke gun, and the lowest armor, so we can try to build those shields up with that Gibraltar shield. Jeez, I can never think of that, because he's got the 2 shields. He's got the arm shield, he's got the big shield, but that arm shield really helps you level up that armor, because you can take those ego peaks and get shot and not really care about it.
Of Pathfinder, getting pretty well equipped with the armor and the long-range guns to start out the poking phase of this map. Still some calm before the storm as teams are on their loot runs. Mamba for life, love that team name. Shout out Kobe. They're getting pretty well equipped with the armor situation too. They're choosing a little bit different of a route, giving their Gibby the high armor instead of the low. And it looks like here we've got a chase ensuing between CCO Esports as they are on the run. They've got the Caustic that should slow this other team down, but it looks like they might be forcing their way in.
Yeah, that's the thing with Caustic. He prevents breaches while also enabling your team to be able to breach. Ooh, takes a peek, gonna take a little damage, but can get right out of the way. Oh, Heisenberg gonna be falling exceptionally low. Is he gonna be able to recover, or is he's just gonna have to throw all the things in his pocket to try to keep everybody away from him? CCO is in a tough position. Everybody's low right now.
And they don't have bats. This should actually be it for CCO. We've gotten one down. Actually, two. El Roro fell as well to Gazan. Just rolling in with that EVA 8. Heisenberg, the last one standing for this team, the Gibraltar. And it doesn't look like he's got any cells left. And did pick up that kill onto Slinky. So it looks like they're actually fighting. Ranked is harder here. And Heisenberg has a chance to clutch it. He's gotten 2 downs now. He's looking for the third. He's got the shield swap. Still low on the HP, though. Poking around, trying to get outside. He might actually know the whereabouts of this player above him. This, again, is Ranked is Harder versus CCO Esports. One of our very first fights of the day.
This Heisenberg has purple armor right now, Yelp. That is gigantic for what he's trying to do. They're going to get the finish, but that's okay. He wants somebody to push him because he's got the arm shield, he's got the PK, and now he has his dome online with this massive health pool, the 15% reduction, and it looks like they're going to go for a portal play to try to get him out, but swapping over here to just outside of Fragment.
Heisenberg actually just fell.
Oh, loses
CCO, a 5 seed, and you talked about this earlier when we were talking about falling out of the game early. These top 5 teams got to be consistent right off the bat, and CCO Esports already down and out. Ranked is Harder, the 7 seed, picking up some points there. Bursty getting that finish, and we do have a different chase going on here between Ape, the 19 seed, and who are they going up against?
Are they going up against your Yuck? I don't really know, but they're running into Fragment, and it looks like they're on the prowl. Look at this armor already up. Ape, I remember this team. They've had their moments. They are kind of in that buff Pathfinder and Backburner style team. It's right in the name, Burke. They like to ape people. And they play this Revenant. Shots going out. Knocks all around. Ape is starting to lose right now. Gets a nice burst onto him, but gotta go down to the punch right there. NRT gotta be taking that one. NRT, again, another one of these teams, really kind of going over these teams and seeing them live and on, where they need to be is, you kind of remember, oh yeah, I remember this team doing good in qualifiers. Yo, can you still with me, bud?
I'm still with you, man. I was getting some big time lag on my feed, so I was letting you take it, but I'm looking a little smoother now, which is good.
No problem.
But, I mean, you were saying, I think we've seen some teams do good in qualifiers. I think we've seen every single one of these teams do good in qualifiers. Off of the Octane jump pad, coming in, hitting some shots, and the chase ensues. This is Team Viral actually picking up a little bit of KP here, rolling into their second kill, back to back. This is the 20 seed, about to be knocked out by Team Viral. That was a great rev push there we saw with the jump pad, the double jump pad to chase down B2B.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like they're going to be right in another skirmish here. Team Dreams taking a big beam right now. Vaughn Dreams going to have to be getting right on out of there. But they're going to find a kill. Gladly Dreams going to be taking out Fence. Fence, one of the better players on this squad, getting taken out first is going to be very difficult. Team Dreams trying to make this recovery around the caustic traps.
Have this here. This was a very well-timed third party onto Team Viral after they were chasing after B2B. And just talking about timing on this third party, how important is it to just get in and mix it up the second you see that down go through?
You just always want to make sure, because it just means that you have the advantage. We all know 3 versus 2 are almost impossible for the 2-man team, especially when they just started to fight. Maybe they took bursts from a different team, and now you just come in and pick up the free KP. Anything that's free, it might seem cheap, it might seem like they didn't really earn it, but you're going to take everything you can on this final day, Yelk. You have to, because it's for the money. It's for the prize pool. It's for the thing they've been working at for over, is it 2 months now? It seems like it's been a few months of them all pursuing this.
Pretty much all of August, bleeding into July a little bit.
Yeah. Either way, it seems like this has been going on for a long time. And the thing is it's not like they only put their work in when they're at the qualifiers, when they're at the scrims, and when they're at these final games here. Exactly with Literally Vibing, they only play together. I think you were telling me, you were talking to some of them, and they only play together. And when they aren't on, they just don't play. So they know how to play with each other better than anybody else. And those pubs and those games in ranked mean so much for a team like Literally Vibing, and I'm sure a lot of these teams, and it just goes into the time that they put in to prepare for this.
On board with them now. We can see that C-Die does not have the armor situation you'd probably be hoping for. When the free cam was roaming through, I did Dark Matter Perp had an insanely good high ground positioning that we saw Literally Vibing, basically camping, because so many zones ended southwest last week.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be getting another one, Yelk. I had my one ranked win today end here. Like, I don't know what it is with this circle and this map, but it loves to go thermal. And it's like, maybe I should just start dropping here because the circle seems to end here 30% of the time. It's kind of wild. RGR locked in this building, pretty good armor situation. A team running Pathfinder, and it seems like they're going to have a sniper, a sentinel. Oh, nice shot to the body. I don't even know how he didn't hit the head. I don't know if anything other than the head peaked right there, Yuck, but they're going to opt to get right out of there. They jump pad and use the zip. Interesting, maybe a bit of an overinvestment, maybe not.
This is where we saw Dark Matter Perp camping out earlier in this one, and we could see him getting this push going on to RGR. I was pretty sure the only reason they're not here now is because they were chasing RGR around that building, and RGR with the smart move to take the high ground once it was given up, quickly getting rid of those caustic traps so they can just take advantage of the whole thing. And you can just see this 360-degree sightline this team is going to have is prime position right up until this zone is going to close.
And they have the Sentinel, Dark Matter is going to be down their caustic. It's a crucial member, but I would say having your Gibraltar and having your Octane is more important. Is more important, even though a caustic provides so much to a team based on getting third-partied and pushed. Your two strongest characters truly are going to be that Octane and that Gibraltar. Can we just talk about a little Pathfinder real quick here? Wow, we see this nice shot going, just gonna miss with the Sentinel, but it's gonna be like shooting fish in a barrel here. They're gonna have to move right out of there, or Ban TikTok is gonna just put him away here. He's gonna be leveling these shields up too, Yelk.
Yeah, 378 until the red. He's in a pretty good spot to get that rather quickly in this game, and I love this team using the Pathfinder. I mean, we've got a team in this tournament named Buff Pathfinder. Last week, during day one of our final, you could call it, although there were still two groups left, Buff Pathfinder ran the Pathfinder for game number one. Didn't go great. They slapped on the Gib for the last 5 games, and they ended up with the second placement spot out of Group A. So they're definitely making a case to buff that legend, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and he kind of needs it. I think a simple quality of life buff you could give to Pathfinder is just let him take down that zipline. It looks like they're getting sent right now. Dark Matter, I think they've identified there's only 2 players, and MXH wants this KP. They've scanned. They only see 2. They're going to go in with the bubble here, Yelk, and they're just going to try to take the kills that are given to them.
They've got to be so careful. Dark Matter's not going to go down easy, but Zerk does fall to that Mastiff. Machiavelli does pick up 1 kill, but that is going to be Dark Matter Perp knocked out of this one.
14.
That is so tough for the number 2 seed. We are seeing these top 5 teams falling early, which gives a lot of breathing room to teams amongst this ladder, but it's gotta be another team coming in with this third party. 1 down picked up already. Make it 2 as Toto falls as well. And this could be MXH, and we are seeing third parties come in crisp today for day number 2.
Mamba for life coming in hot. Was that only they only have 2 players? That's an insane third party for only having 2 players. No, they're getting the res. Apparently when they're down, it doesn't show their name. So I was a little confused there. A good beam there from MXH. Oh, speaking of good beams, we got the good beam team. It looks like they're creeping in on them, Yelk. But Team Dream's also going to be in an engagement. If Team Viral gets into a fight, I definitely don't want to miss it, though, because it looks like they're about to try to take the bottom of Thermal, which is so important.
So important and such a tough thing to do. You know you've got eyes on you if that's happening, but Literally Vibing, we've got to stay on with them as they are pushing in against MXH. So much loot on the table here. They could really get endgame kitted, and they've got so much breathing room with those other top teams already knocked out. Literally Vibing comes in here and gets this squad wipe, and they could run away with map number 1. Looks like we've got a dual view here for this fight. Mamba for life going up against Literally Vibing. The Gibby ult comes in, the bubble gets deployed, Jaren rolls in with a grenade, doesn't choose to throw it. Now we've got a building versus building duel between these two teams, and nearly it's still anyone's game, but a great beam from Jaren right over that high ground head peak, and he's able to lace him for about 60. But still, Mamba for Life not out of this one yet. They've got plenty of bats after getting that third-party squad wipe. They are in this fight for the long haul. Caustic wrapping up this bottom story now, and they've got some shield swaps here to get ready.
Oh my,
and
Banshee.
a little reviving, although Banshee was knocked very low. Mamba for Life, they might not want to push this right away, but it seems like they're going to anyway, coming in with the Mastiff.
Yeah,
and it looks like still just backing off. This fight is really breathing, nearly.
This Caustic for literally vibing has been really helpful for them, keeping that extra pressure. It seems like literally vibing can take the initiative, and then when they want to, they can back right up here. And they have the high ground. Oh my, beam from Jaren right there. That's a 108 right onto the Gibby. Almost gets the knock on him, and he hits a couple more bullets. That's the knock, and that's the go sign for literally vibing. But again, this is just, oh. There's no way he survives. They get the knock.
He's got the high ground. He's got the stock. He's loving how his R301 looks right now, and literally vibing. They've got the Gibby bubble on cooldown again. They've gotten 2 downs as well. C-Dive picking those up, rolling into the Gibby, and no chance. Jaren comes in with that EVA 8, breaks down the door, and breaks down Mamba for Life.
Oh, what round is this? That's round 3 of the circle. Team Dream, it looks like, in a really good position here. It's a new position that didn't exist last season. It's pretty interesting. It's hard to get to. I don't know if Team Dream has the Caustic. I cannot remember. It seems like we have so many. It's safe to assume, but I don't see any traps. So I'm going to go with they don't have a Caustic. Actually, I do remember they don't have one. Oh, look, a Gibby ult. That's so pretty from here.
Look at that. It really is. I mean, it looks like fireworks from here.
Kenji
God and the pals rolling in. Buff Pathfinder on a rotation of their own. I'm looking at this zone just on the mini-map, and it seems like it could be very open, and that could actually hurt some of these teams that do have that Caustic. RGR out of this one now. Squad wipe finished off. Buff Pathfinder getting some KP up on the board. That's going to help them a lot. As we know, it's pretty much between them and literally vibing for the top teams contesting this first game.
And it looks like Dre is on the Octane instead of the Gibby. I believe he was on the Gibby before, and he had that insane clutch with the big sniper Yelk. I never get to use it, so I forget the Kraber.
The Barrett 50 cal.
I never get to use it, so the name escapes me. I give that to my Gibby player all the time.
Dre definitely with the play of the tournament last time. It's definitely in the CGL clip somewhere. You can find it if you're interested, but a 1v3 clutch and the final kill, I'll just spoil it for you. It was a Kraber no-scope. Just one shot, didn't take 2. It was the flashiest thing I think I've ever seen in Apex. Now Dre's lining up to do some damage here.
Flashiest thing I've seen at this high a level, too. You know, all of these players are good, so doing it to 3 players that are also that good. But either way, Dre right now has that L-Star, which these players can use like an AR. It really, to me, it's an SMG. To them, it truly is an LMG. And if you shoot it correctly, it never truly has to stop. Kenjigan from Backburner going to be putting this Gibby ult down, forcing them off of that train car and into the train car. And they might be able to throw the Caustic ult in on them if they have it available. Caustic is such a good breaching character because he can take away those small areas that you're barely hanging on to. But here go Buff Pathfinder for the rotation out. Looks like they're gonna be moving down to another building, a little bit one of those cars, or maybe even gonna be trying to get out of there with the balloon.
And we can see that Buff Pathfinder or Backburner, one of them needed to make that move. Both of them really not interested in the fight against each other on these train tracks. We did see a third party just getting some shots in onto Backburner on that left side, kind of just bugging them a little bit. Buff Pathfinder now in this little car of their own, lacing some damage. Dre's got the red shields, as does Shroom, just building those up. Bursty, the Gibby, the last one to get involved in that club, but I'm sure he will eventually. We got 8 squads left in map number 1, and some good shots thrown in here. Buff Pathfinder in a little bit of a fight, but it looks like they're going to get that takedown, and the new kill leader, Bursty, making a name for himself last week, starting off strong here in day number 2.
I wonder if they gave Bursty, because he performed so well last time, if they're like, let's just give you the arm shield instead so that you can farm up all our shields, because your shot is absolutely on. That's a knock right there and a crash down. On Dream's going to be the one to get it. I think everybody in the lobby was shooting at him right there, and he just went down like a sack of potatoes.
literally vibing up on these train tracks with it looks like Backburner and Buff Pathfinder. I don't think Buff Pathfinder is actually on them. I do think
They're
they are below,
below.
but the visual looks a little
I
funny
know.
right now. So literally vibing, starting to close some space here. And this is a pretty much identical fight as the one we saw negated earlier between Backburner and Buff Pathfinder, but literally vibing. I think they know they're one of the last top teams left in this map, number one. They're looking to farm up some KP with a little more confidence than we might see later tonight.
Oh my, so many cracks coming out from that Gibby on the punch. Going down, literally vibing, might fall here. Only one left. It's a 1v1 Yelk. Jaren has the gold armor, and he goes down. But Banshee is also still alive. Dre shooting in. This is so claustrophobic, Yelk.
This could be it, unless Banshee can get out alive somehow. And it looks like both of his teammates are down. Banshee finished off as well. So literally vibing
Number
the 1
6.
seed out 6. Dark Matter Perp out 14th, I believe. And yeah,
And
it's pretty much anyone's game. This is exactly what everyone else on the ladder was hoping to see is, will these top teams start slow? Can we build a little bit of a lead, a little bit of some distance away from them to start things off here?
Yeah, and the thing is, Buff Pathfinder is probably in the lead right now because they have at least 7 between the 2 players that I've seen on their team. Bursty with 4, Dre with 3, I believe, unless that was 4 and it switched. I mean, it's hard to keep track. I'm trying to do math and just remember what I've seen. But they have at least 7, and they're already cracking that top 4, so they're guaranteeing so many points on this first game. And the first game can really launch you to the rest of it. It doesn't mean you can just rest your laurels on that first game, but we talk about momentum, and momentum starts on game number 1.
Holding the high ground on these tracks, getting some more shots in. Buff Pathfinder really choose to be aggressive here. The only team fully kitted with the red armor. Getting rid of this jump pad here, not letting any funny business happen. Another Bloodhound scan coming in. This team might end up pushing this fight. They've got some ultimates to burn still too, because they didn't really need any in that third party against literally vibing.
He's got this Prowler. Look how much ammo he has in that Prowler. He's going to be using it like an AR Berg. Oh, that nade takes out 4. That's a Sky nade right there. And why Sky nades are so good is because you have no chance to get away from it. They land on you and explode. And that's what these best players in the world really are superb at doing. Looks like Jams with Demic gets caught out by that Gibby ult, slows him down, and they cut him down. No shields are for any of this team. And Buff Pathfinder's going to take that fight easily.
Oh my god, he got that squad wipe in a flash. A perfectly timed and placed Gibby ult is going to keep this train tracks for Buff Pathfinder. You will not see a better play from a Gibby today, and he was not even on this legend last week.
No, absolutely not. Sorry, someone just walked through, but this ult's out, and this is such a good ult right now because of those nerfs to Seer, which, by the way, we're not seeing any Seer, yo. At least I haven't seen any of it yet. It's because this character is so valuable. Look at this ult. You always know where the team is at. Hidden Dreams mowing down absolutely everybody.
This is going to be the last fight here.
Yeah, easily.
Team Dreams, Buff Pathfinder, high ground, low ground. Eventually, something's got to give. Somebody's got to drop. The zone is not going to be closing under this. I mean, it looks like it actually is. I'm going to bite my tongue on that. Look at, could we actually see Buff Pathfinder never having to drop? Because Team Dreams, they don't have a jump pad. They don't have a Pathfinder. They've really got no good way to get up except for that zip line. And I don't think they're going to be taking that, Neely.
Yeah, it's really tough. This might turn into a heal war if they truly want it to. I feel like neither of these teams are going to want to have it go to that because both teams got a heal and it's going to turn into a 50-50 coin flip. And Shrim's GG is already popping that all. And it looks like they want to go. They're dropping the bubble down and they're taking the fight right to them.
I love it. The bubble goes in. We see the push coming through here from Team Dreams, but it's unsuccessful so far. It's a 2 versus 2. Both bubbles now in the mix, and dancing through all of them is Buff Pathfinder. Bursty has that armor cracked. It's not going to make a difference in Buff Pathfinder. Take game number 1.
Oh, that was a great finish. I appreciate Team Dreams not just opting to stay up on high ground because they had the high ground to make the push that they wanted. It was on their time and they were not quite able to execute their Yelk, but still really well done. And I love that shot. I was like, why did we cut away from the winning team? I wanted to watch the shoot around, but it went to show their banners, and I really like that because it truly props up who dominated in that lobby. But that is a massive game for Buff Pathfinder. I want to say that they were just our kill leaders all the way through, but obviously we don't have the stats on that just yet. But either way, they are one of those teams that's going to run through a lobby and get a lot of kills. And if they can win on top of that, that is massive.
Definitely is picking up a lot of placement points, the maximum, and like you said, the kill leaders all the way through. This is the pull away they were looking for. All these top teams falling so early, you really couldn't have expected it. I think a lot of them thought that they just had to get that KP early, and that wasn't the look. We saw third parties come in with fantastic timing, and that was the biggest difference maker right up until the end game. I mean, the end game was really the only time where we didn't see a third party getting some insane value, because it's not possible. But
yeah,
how are these top teams going to fend off those third parties throughout the night?
I mean, Caustic might just kind of be the answer, gives you that bit of stability. Buff Pathfinder, though, they weren't running one, right? Am I correct on that, or am I crazy? Because I'm thinking Literally Vibing was running it, but Buff Pathfinder, I don't believe they were. They weren't running Pathfinder, though. I know that for sure.
No, sadly, no Pathfinder, but game number 2 is going to have some answers on how teams are going to answer these third parties coming through, what top teams are going to chip away at that lead that Buff Pathfinder just built. We'll be back in just a few.
And we're back with the CGL Summer Series, the finals, Yelk. It's time. It's the finals. All the marbles, and Buff Pathfinder might just be that team that's going to bring it on the final day. So we said that Group B might have been more stacked, but the only team that kept up with Literally Vibing last week was Buff Pathfinder. And here we are. They're taking the first win when another team was able to knock out Literally Vibing, and then all the room opened up for Buff Pathfinder.
Yeah, Dark Matter went down early. Literally Vibing didn't go down super early, but still, to their standards, very early.
Not first.
And then I think Buff Pathfinder, they were reading the kill feed and they were like, we can run away with this. Bursty becomes the immediate kill leader with 4 kills, the first to 4. And then the rest of the squad comes in. Once they all had that red armor kitted up, you could see that team just got so much more aggressive once they had that high ground on the train tracks as well. And we can see the game 1 MVP. Look at this. It's the Gibby. It's Bursty for Buff Pathfinder, coming in with 7 kills, 4 apples, and 1,700 damage. They won the map, of course. Bursty had a phenomenal week last week during the day 1 grand finals for Group A, and already on the hot start. And that is what it takes. Your best players have to be your best players on the final day when it matters the most. You can't have your third guy taken over as your best player role. It was Bursty last week. He knows it's kind of on his shoulders to do the same thing this week. That's probably why, like you said, his team gave him the Gibraltar pick. And we can see the kill points. It's not even close. 16-6. Second place is Team Viral with a pretty good run, and NRT Gaming. I'm sure Team Viral and NRT Gaming are finding themselves in a fantastic spot and definitely meeting all of their high hopes for their expectations going into the grand final day. And although Literally Vibing was out very early to their standards, they're still in 4th place because they were able to pick up 7 kills, Neely.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just those kill points can really they just put you where you need to be. You can place pretty terribly, and if you just rack up a bunch of kills up into that point, it can really boost you up. But I mean, that's the thing that I think this is why Apex as a game built a really good rank system, and on all the tournaments off that have kind of taken that ranked vibe and then built upon it to try to also incentivize placing high and finding that perfect balance to incentivize teams to want to place high and get kills. Because you don't just want it to be place high because then everybody camps and literally nobody cares about killing each other. But if you make it all about kills, nobody's going to try to place high. You're just going to get 12 with 15 kills and call it a day. It's that really nice middle ground where if you can get close to that top 5, because I think Literally Vibing went out 6th, if I remember correctly. Milk? Yeah, so 6th place, not super good, not super bad. I think we both consider once you hit number 5 and kind of break past that is where you start to get those placement points. Because before that, I mean, I guess it really is all kill points at that point because you're getting so few placement points, you might as well just frag out if you're going to go out 8th and above.
Yeah, the magic number for kill points, it seems like, is right around or anything above the 6 mark. If you can wipe 2 squads, you're still in a good spot after the game ends. Even if you come in 7th, if you come in 9th, if you've got 6, 7 or more KP, you've done fine for that
Mhm.
map. You can make up for it in later games with placement and kills on top of that. But even if you get knocked early, if you break that 2 squad wipe threshold, you're gonna be okay. And that's what we see with Literally Vibing, just kind of hanging in there despite getting dropped early. But how about Buff Pathfinder and the other top 3 teams and our Team Gaming and Team Viral? Team Viral, we talked about them in the pregame. They
I
had a
know.
very rough shake of things last week, and this week they kind of seem to be playing a lot more consistent, going for that placement, not getting too hungry.
Yeah, I mean, doing a pretty good job, kind of doing it under the radar. I don't even think we really sent Team Viral. I felt like I thought Team
Oh,
Dream, we kind of focused on Team Dream more, and I think they're, when did they go out? Was it third or second? So it looked like Viral got second. The graphic is
it was
gone.
third or
So.
fourth for
Okay.
Dream.
Okay.
Third or fourth.
Okay, that makes sense because I think I kind of got lost. I got so focused on Buff Pathfinder. I didn't realize that Team Viral made it that far, but it's big for them because they were second seed in our last tournament and they barely kind of squeezed their way into this one. So good to see them kind of start out good. They might just be a consistency team, and at this rate, getting first, second, or third, all very good. Third place gets $75. Consistency might just be what does that for you. So excited to see what they do.
Yeah, and there's a couple other teams that I think we just didn't see enough of for
Yeah.
map number 1. You were saying during the break that Chuck Norris is in the grand
It's
final.
in the grand final.
Bonito. They actually came in. They're placed 14th going into this one, but we really didn't see too much of a map number 1. If you weren't here last week, Chuck Norris can get a little separated from his team at times. He's fun to watch. What is he on right now? So Pepinito, team 14. We'll see when he picks a legend what they're playing. Now Tormenta. That's what I'm looking at. They've got a Bangalore. We've seen that a few times over qualifiers and day one. A couple of teams are rocking a crypto for the time being. A couple more flirting with a fuse pick. There are some off-meta picks we really could start to see because there are characters like Fuse, like Rampart, who have done well in this tournament, not just in the hands of Literally Vibing, but they do kind of just get a little bit more respect. Fuse can obviously do that constant damage, and Rampart can really bunker down in a building, much like a Caustic can at times, getting that value. But we do see Buff Pathfinder, the champion squad, happy to see it after game number 1. I'm interested to see where teams actually drop for map number 2. It'd be nice to actually get a peek at this map so we could take a look. Where is Buff Pathfinder going? Where is Literally Vibing dropping? Dark Matter Perp, they like Fragment. Are they doing that today? They didn't have a good run of things for game number 1. Our team's gonna shake it up that have had these like very consistent starting strategies that they start to pull a little bit more tricks out of the bag for the grand final.
Yoke. The big question. You said a lot of stuff right there, but who
I
goes
did.
trials? I mean, who
Does
offs-
anyone?
does anybody? I mean, it's such a weird spot on this map because you and me both, I think we both, maybe not equally, but somewhat close. I think both of us like it. It's hard to get our full squad on board with whoever we're playing with to want to drop trials every single time. But you're sometimes guaranteed that gold armor, which is so strong for 90% of the game. Maybe you opt for some red later on, but I would say gold is good right up until the end if your other 2 characters have some red armor on them, just for resource management as a squad. So I personally love some trials because you usually guarantee yourself some gold loot, a gold bag, a gold shield, all so strong. These teams are so good at recovering, and if you add a bag on top of that, it's almost like you need to get a knock sometimes.
Yeah, gold bag probably the most valuable piece of loot in high ranked games because a lot of teams are very quick to finish those thirsts, and any res you can get usually doesn't stay up for too long without the gold bag. Usually there's not that time for that Phoenix kit or med kit. So that gold bag can go a long way to make sure teams have some longevity in their fights. And again, early, we're starting to see some shots trade in this field. And Neely, I did take a peek at it this time. We've got 18 squads total
Yep.
into the final.
Backburner, a fan favorite, another one of those fragger teams that I've talked about. And it's always like, well, why don't I call a team like Team Viral? I'm sorry, not Team Viral. Literally Vibing a fragger team because they are absolutely. I think it's because they're such a well-rounded team with such a well-rounded game at all points of the game that they're just known to me as great competitive Apex players, which all of these players are. But some of these teams just seem to have that extra, just, I don't know, just that extra gunny power. Something about it. I don't know. It just speaks to me. Maybe it's just a feeling, but that's my opinion, Yelk.
No, I think you're right. I think some teams do kind of have that grinder personality where they really don't let things get to them. They'll go in, they'll fight. Teams that have a caustic, they're not afraid to push those really tough scenarios. And I think you're right that they absolutely are one of those teams. Ranked as harder, the team we're hovering over right now. They're also one of those teams. We saw it last game where they pushed into a caustic building and they came up with some KP. They almost actually fell in that scenario, and that's kind of a trade-off for these teams. But ranked is harder. They've already got a squad away. They're up on the board with some KP, and they're probably feeling good so far in game number 2. They've had a very early fight win in both games so far, so that's a team to look out for the rest of as being aggressive in their second fight already. Or could this be the last remaining member? I think they're chasing down just one final member, but this actually could be a team caustic up in here. Is that what we're seeing? It actually looks like that is the case, as this is a crypto inside, cracked by the Mastiff, and Slinky unable to finish this off, and it looks like Tulave comes in and he gets that down, but quickly by Gazan.
They're trying to win this one. Gazan is so low, they're just running at him. Oh my, I think this is going to turn on its head, Young. There is a crypto at also 1 HP. Are both teams going to be able to recover? Not quite sure. He has the ultimate. He's going for the cell. Gonna lose that first cell he put on, and they're probably just about even right now, Yelk. But he's got the high ground talking, just hanging on. Gazan with full armor right now. He had a bat, I'm assuming, and he's just trying to find a way up there, but he's kind of messing it up a little bit. Going for the KP. Smart play.
Yeah, I like it. Picking that up, getting the res onto Slinky. Getting the caustic back first so they can throw down some traps.
Yep.
Maybe fend off that third party like you were saying. Caustic is probably the best legend at getting those third parties to stay at bay. This is a risky res here outside. No real natural cover, but it looks like they'll get away with it.
I love the new Wraith skin too. It's a reskin, it's a recolor. Some people don't like those, but it's a cool one. It's one of her coolest skins that she has, and they add a little blue to it. Who doesn't like a little blue? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Yelk, you'll have to check it out in the store after. But back in Skyhook, game 2 of 6. We're so early on in this, Yelk. And Bursty running away from the squad so he can get his own kills.
I think I am. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm assuming you can, because that's it on Discord.
Our previous map 1 winners
talk once if you can
rolling right up to launch site here.
Oh boy. Oh boy, folks.
Yelk, you still riding along with me?
Gotta commentate over this like anyone can hear me.
Well,
love Pathfinder rotating around. So, they've got some decent positioning.
I'll just have to take this myself. I'll make sure that all my audio is still coming in.
All right.
But either way, here we are with MXH, a team that had a really good fight right below Thermal Station, but then quickly got wiped right after that. A good third party came in onto them by Mamba for Life. And I'm not quite sure. But either way, we're riding right along here. I don't see Yelks talking, so I hope to go. Okay, he hears me. I don't know if you were casting or I was casting. I kept it going, keeping it calm. Nothing's happening.
Luckily, it was a calm before the storm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, that was the most ideal time to ever have issues.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep it nice, calm, cool, and collected. We were just spectating some stuff, you know, just peeking around. I don't know if you casted or if you just stayed quiet. Maybe they heard a little bit of both of us. We're checking out some map right now. Some shots are getting.
We were good the whole time. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I think if that happens, you couldn't hear me, so.
No, I think if that happens, we'll cast at the same exact time, and we'll just confuse the hell out of chat. How does that sound?
Yeah, absolutely. Confuse him right up. Gazan? What do you think, Bert?
You tell me.
I can't, Bert.
I said Gazan. I think that's what I said in their last fight when he got it down.
Yeah, Gazan.
That's what I was saying day one.
That's what I like. I like it.
All right.
Either way.
One thing about gamers, a lot of them can't spell in their own gamer tags.
Yeah, or they can, and they just like to confuse everybody. And, you know, it's tough. I love people with some really nice spelled names. Wraith2Think, ban TikTok. I can read that. Shields going out for them. Looking like we got a little bit of a fight here. I think this is called landslide now. It's something weird, but it's old train station. Well, burst going out. It looks like he's okay. They're getting sent back. Ape running that. Ooh, nice 79 beam. Couple headshots right there from Ban TikTok on the Octane.
With the flatline and the 1 to 2 times, but he's got that purple stock helping out so much with his accuracy, really starting to lace in some lead onto this last remaining member of Ape, and RGR with that squad wipe finishes off them. It looks like literally Vibing is in a fight with Team Viral. Banshee just knocked down Fence and finished off that kill. So literally Vibing finding their first piece of action here in game number 2. Probably having to play it very reserved to their playstyle. Make sure that they don't get knocked early. MXH, they're on the run now too.
Yeah, absolutely. Dre launching away. Maybe more of a chase here. It's looking like quite the chase, and they get the knock right there. Dre's going to get it right onto MXH, and it looks like they're going to struggle from what they did last time. MXH getting hunted down by Buff Pathfinder, and as of right now, you do not want to get hunted by this team. Dre on the Octane, absolutely flying at him. Only half HP, but he's moving so quick, it's going to be hard to hit him anyway.
Let's go here.
This team definitely feeling like getting after some kills. They can play with their lead right now. They've built up some insurance in case they do have an unfortunate game where they get knocked out pretty early. You don't want to go out 16th, obviously, but if you're in a position like they are to chase some kills, they're going to take full advantage of it. That's what we're seeing right now, but they pull up on this high ground and just breathe a little bit, as maybe they don't have enough ammo to take this fight. Maybe they just value this positioning they're in right now. But I would imagine a rotation around to that central high ground in this part of the map, because we've seen so many teams find so much success in that positioning. Right now, just changing the kits, giving the Gibby the Brawl setup, and I think that's the right move to make.
Yeah, I would have to agree it's the right move to make. It makes me a little sad because I was just about to comment on how Dre is running one of my favorite things 3 times on the R301 with an EVA to back it up. Understandable swap though. I was using an L-Star today and that thing just shreds. Oh, doing a little spectate. Bursty. Give him a little flare. It's almost like he knows he's getting spectated right now. They know when they're fighting that they could be in the line of fire of us. Ooh, that's 80 right there. A lot of damage.
That's going to be a down too.
Yeah,
wow,
pushing.
Look at that. Nice little shot.
They're getting shot at a little bit by Bursty right now. This is going to turn into a third party. Mamba for Life has to make this exceptionally quick. They can't get down. They have to do this as cleanly as possible. The Wraith portal coming out to try to help them get an escape. It's not going to happen, but the third party is already coming in, Yelp. Not going to be able to finish up this Wraith. And Mamba for Life, oh man, they're really getting this one turned on their head here. And it looks like JP King is going to get third party. There's almost no shot that he recovers from this, and he's getting the barrage put down on him. And he's just going to go right out.
The sky starts to fall, and that is the squad wipe. Buff Pathfinder, the second they saw that chase ensue and that fight was going to happen, that was the green light for them to go commit some ultimates to this as well and make sure that 2 squads end up getting knocked out of this game, and we are down to 12 now.
Yeah. I could just feel that push coming. I mean, not only feel it, you could see the shots coming out. S2 Alliance looking like they've got a little pressure on their head. They might have to take some undisclosed medication to get rid of that headache.
Drink some water.
Drink some water. That's what I do. But either way, a little bit more Wraith today too, it seems like. Interesting. Getting aimed at, crash down, he knows. I think he just got hit by a Kraber. Look at that damage. That's about 145 done in one burst there. Doongle on the brand new nerfed Seer.
Using that heartbeat, just trying to figure out where teams are at, but this is a very interesting team comp. Has a lot of good presence in the mid-game scenario, but when we get toward the end game,
no Gibby.
Really relying on that Wraith portal to be unbelievably on point. Literally vibing. Look at that armor setup. Maybe this is the team that ended up going trials, because you do not often see 2 yellow armors hit it up on a team. See Die in an awful lot of trouble. Has to get that bubble bat off, and applying the pressure is going to be Banshee. Placing in to crack that shield and just keep this team back. Gets the bat off of his own. And we're going to see the rotation coming through now. This is CCO Esports they're squared off with, and they're trying to catch him on this rotation here.
Yeah, this is actually a very important fight here. CCO, one of our better teams in that top 5 category, fighting our number 1 seed, literally vibing. Both of them not getting the games they wanted before, and one of them is going to be not getting the game that they want. If this fight doesn't go well, Crashdowns is going down, and it looks like literally vibing is going to be coming out on top. They don't have the bounce pad, but they have a grapple right in front of them they could opt to use to get right over them. But they're not. Did they not get 2 downs, Yelk?
They got 2 downs. They got 2 finishes right there, and that's
wow,
actually
with the
S2
nades.
Alliance, not CCO. So that was that team we were just spectating that was trying to rotate in through CCO and LV, and they just got pincered between 2 of the top teams, and that's what happens. That was the team that doesn't have the Gibraltar. They're relying on a Wraith portal for their rotate, and you can see right there how it can't get you out of tight situations like that.
And they had just used their Wraith portal, and it's not a fast ult, Yelk. I feel like Bounce Pad is so much better of an ult more often. Now, Wraith portal, you can't get hurt through. That's very important here. But at the same time, it's so hard to... Oh, wait, this is a really close fight here. Bursty's in there. Buff Pathfinder wants these kills. They could go out here. Dre in a really good position on that high ground. It doesn't look like they're going out.
Wow.
3-3 right now for Bursty. At 1,300 damage, 8 squads left. He easily could surpass his damage from last game, 1,700. He's looking for the 2K, maybe the 3K in league play. And Buff Pathfinder, as of right now, is the team that is putting it on for the last day. And they're, for the first time so far, not the number 1 ranked team. Well, I say that, but that's just from the June series that I'm talking about.
And they did just knock out CCO Esports, who have had a tough run coming into this one at number 5, but leaving early in both of the games so far. Buff Pathfinder, you can just see the way they're moving right now. This is going to be a fast-paced team all night. Clearly warmed up, ready to play. Everyone's running the ideal legend for them, and I'm loving the new look with Bursty on that Gibraltar.
Getting chopped down. It's coming in right now. I'm not even sure who this is fighting them. Banshee, it's literally vibing. They're in on him. Jaren's going right into that bubble, and then Team Dreams is all but done on using that Wraith ability, but it's... I'm going to say it, Yelk. Wraith's a trash ability. It's not. It's good. I get it. You're invincible, but you get hunted every single time. Just give me a time where 2 players go down and you Wraith in these games and they get away. Exclusively, never.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. The track down is always imminent. If Wraith is the last one standing, pretty much all hope is lost. I know, Octane is in the game. You're going to harp on it on every one of these Wraith teams that they should be using the jump pad. Buff Pathfinder, though, in another fight, and that is a nade that connects here. That actually sways the tide of this Bursty. Bursty was ready to run away and just turned right around on this one. Buff Pathfinder, though, a little too eager, and they've got a down of their own.
Wait,
it looks like Dre is down as well. This is actually Dark Matter they're squaring off against, too. This is going to be a very good fight, and a lot of breathing room is going to be opened up.
Bag. They have 2 gold bags.
Most valuable.
Because why would you not give that to your Gibby, Yoke? In every situation. I don't know.
They might have to. I mean, they've gotten a care package. We see the alternator in the pocket of Shroom right now. They could have 2 gold bags.
Dude, that alternator as well. I had it today. Squad wiped the team. I mean, I've never seen it's surprising every time you use it. And speaking of surprising, those G7 shots just landing. I love this weapon as well, especially in the hands of Bursty, one of those poke weapons with the arm shield. Look at these angles he can take and just kind of stand there. 50 free damage to his face, 90 with a charge rifle. Everyone on this team has got range. Charge rifle Charlie hitting some big shots, not quite going to get the knockdown, but he will get the crack, and he's going to be half. Opting to use the jump pad and go right in with the L-Star. Hit some nice shots. Zark gets a nice answer, but they're still going to run in on these guys. Zark, if he can get away, he can, but I have a feeling he's going to get cut down here, Yelk.
Unfortunately, Bursty is down. They're going for this res so early, but Dark Matter's not out of this one yet, and they are able to finish off Bursty. Now in a very tough spot is Dre under tons of fire, no shields, no HP left to play with, and he barely makes it out of that Gibby ult alive. Getting this bat off, and they did get the banner.
Gets it again,
Bursty, but they're not out. Oh my god, Dark Matter is not quitting in this fight. They really want to pursue this team. They've obviously popped this Revolt in hopes of just getting these last 2 kills, but Buff Pathfinder, they are the hardest team to take out of this game right now.
And the best team, the team with the most momentum for some reason always is. They get this down in the middle of a fight, Yelk. Dre hits an insane armor swap. Oh my god, is he going to survive? Octane's the best character in the game. Changed my mind. Gets out of that. No questions.
Movement will not often save you, but when it does, it is so clear, and right there we saw it on full display. The Octane with the speed boost barely getting to that rock in time, and Buff Pathfinder
They win in a
actually
fight.
able to finish off Team Viral despite being down a man, despite being down their tank in Bursty. They take all that space away under the train tracks in the least aggressive position you could possibly be. This team becomes the most aggressive.
Yeah. And hey, it's not Thermal Station. Yalke was trying to go Thermal Station, but not quite. Not quite going to make it there. It's going to opt more for the, middle of the map. This bridge, this bridge is so interesting. This is where it ended last time. What am I talking about, yo?
Yeah.
What am I actually talking about?
Pretty much identical. Same set of train tracks, different set of teams.
I'm not even going to say pretty much. Except for the teams inside of it. Buff Pathfinder still alive though, correct? I'm trying to see. Yes. Right?
Pathfinder, Backburner, literally vibing, Dark Matter, Perp. And who is Script on? I'm not actually sure what team Script is on.
I won't find it. No, I'll find it. Hold up.
You're really gonna search?
I'm gonna find it.
I mean,
we're just you take care of that, and I'll find it.
Yeah, I mean it's the calm before the storm right now, so we've got a little bit of time to investigate our last squads we've got in the mix.
Oh.
I think the best positioning though does belong to
B2B.
Literally Vibing, but they've gotten a crack. Jaren did just get that red shield charged up, but just like that, it went away. Buff Pathfinder squaring off against them. They know who they're shooting at too, and Dre is getting aggressive.
I think they just crafted some bats. That is huge for the end game. If bats just got crafted in the north part of this circle from where we're looking, it's probably east, technically, or west. I'm sorry, west, whatever it is. It's over there. Miss Paz, Etymology, and Kenji God hanging out over there. Backburner, I believe. And Script is part of our 20th place team right now. So this top 6 spot is trying to break that top 5, y'all. He's on B2B. And it looks like Literally Vibing is going ego duel against... Oh, Zerk's going to get caught out here. I believe that was a solo because Shrooms and Dre were not able to get their Gibraltar back. But will we get to see the United 2v3 in the final circle for the map win to go back-to-back 2-2 here?
We're down to 4 squads now with Zerk down. It was actually Script wiping a 6th squad out of this game, and now we're just down to some top teams. Literally Vibing, they did take this push. They're able to take down Script as well, and we're down to our final 3. We've got Backburner, we've got Literally Vibing, and the last team, you guessed it, Buff Pathfinder.
You guessed it.
Ooh. This is pretty much the best final zone you could hope for in terms of top teams. If you're interested to see how teams that are very successful operate in an end game, this is it. How do you throw Gibby cooldowns down in an open field? You throw them around a Gibby bubble, you get this loot off, you make sure that third party doesn't come in without you knowing it. And this is a team that is just going to be squared off. I like the rocks they're on though. There's a lot of nooks and crannies around these rocks for them to just maneuver around, and this could be a pretty good spot for them to hold down right up until this zone closes.
And he has that Caustic called the Logger. Caustic used to be in the highest competitive tier of play. He kind of fell out of it. It looks like he's making his way back right now. And that Caustic ult in that final circle is one of the biggest ults, right behind Gibby's ult. But if it's small enough that the whole ult hits, I mean, come on. It's so good if the other team doesn't have a Caustic, especially. I'm just locking down everywhere
over their
they
head.
go.
This is key here, and they can see that orange line now, so they know exactly where the zone is going to close to right point, and they know that this is the only spot that's going to have a roof over their head the longest. They get the crack in right there. Shroom actually goes down. We could be down to our final 2 squads here if LV is able to clean up this fight, but they've got teams on both sides of them right now, and this is not the spot they want to find themselves in. And this is when Literally Vibing starts to outwork other teams just by positioning and just sheer willpower. Going in now with the Eva is Banshee on the other side of these train tracks, able to get that down onto Mispaz, but this team is not out of it yet. Gibraltar ults raining down from the skies, so we're going to see the Caustic ones thrown in soon. Down to our final 2 squads here. Jaren and Banshee, the last hope for Literally Vibing as they look to close out game number 2.
Oh, Literally Vibing goes down. It's a 1v1 yell. It's the final 2 squads. Banshee, our highest damage healer. Kenshi God, probably one of the bigger forces on Backburner. Probably the 2 best players on each team are going to be facing off, both of them all the way healed up. Can they get the res off? Well, those are some big shots. The bubble's out. The shoddy shots are going to be coming in from Banshee. Gets the crack. And he's going to get the win. Literally Vibing taking map number 2. They're upset they lost the first round, Yelk, and they're going to take this one, and they're saying right now they're going to take the rest of them.
It came down to an insane duel between the best player in the tournament so far, Banshee, going up against Kenji God, a very successful player on back burner to this point, but Banshee just proven why he's got the most damage in the tournament so far, clutches that duel as he should, and literally vibing the number 1 seed, get their first win of the day here in game number 2, and that should chip away at what Buff Pathfinder was building earlier on.
Absolutely. I mean, Buff Pathfinder, they had a great game. Tons of kills. Literally vibing, though, I think they not clinch for the rest of the day, but going after our break, we're going to get to see where the teams are placed. I'm guessing second place. I was going to say first, but I think Buff Pathfinder still did very, very well. So I think they're going to maintain that top position. But when I kind of quick glimpse, when I kind of was paying attention, I counted between just 2 of the players on Literally Vibing. They had over 10 kills. I think they had 12 kills between 2 players, or maybe it was 11 or something. That's scary. So whatever the next guy had.
It's a big pickup game for them.
The
Huge.
big one. 12 points plus, let's just say 15 just for fun, because I didn't get to see what they had. Really, really good.
Impressive stuff there from the number 1 seed, and we could see that they were pincered the whole time in that final fight. They did have the train tracks over their heads, but other than that, they were caught in a very vulnerable position. A team on the right and a team on the high ground in front of them. And of course, like we said, came down to that 1 versus 1 duel, and she disappoint. Map number 3 is going to be coming your way in just a few minutes, so make sure you stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. All right, welcome back to the action. Game number 2 is in the books, and Literally Vibing, gaining some ground on this leaderboard that they so desperately needed. That was the toughest final zone we've seen all day. Game number 1 really didn't have those top teams in the mix, but right at the end there, Buff Pathfinder, Backburner, and Literally Vibing, those are 3 teams in the top 4 that plays today, so really doesn't get much better than that. And Banshee, the number 1 player, left up to clutch, and he did not disappoint. What a finish. Neely, if you're looking at Literally Vibing right now or Buff Pathfinder, who is the team you think has the edge over the other?
I mean, historically or today?
No. Just right now. Bursty's on a tear. He's on a new legend. Consider that. Just today. Nothing in the past.
I think just based on today, that game goes differently if they don't lose their Gibraltar. They still did very, very well. We're going to get to see the scoreboard in just a second. I am so curious to see what both of these teams were able to accomplish. But either way, I think Bursty, is kind of just tearing it up. But yeah, that is already what I predicted, Yelk. Buff Pathfinder maintaining that lead, but the gap has been closed by Literally Vibing. Mounting up those kills. Do you know how many kills Literally Vibing had in the last game? Was it 7?
They had 7. Yeah.
You want to do some math for me? Engineering?
Yeah, they picked up 17, buddy. That is quite a lot in game number 2, but not quite enough to topple the lead that Buff Pathfinder had built up. And our game MVP for game number 2 is the Gibraltar. Your boy, it's Jaren. He's been shooting laser beam all along, picked up 8 kills, 6 apples in that one, and broke the 2k damage threshold. And that's going to get his team that number 1 placement point. Jaren has been one of the more consistent players in this entire tournament. And back to your point about what you were saying about Buff Pathfinder, they didn't have their Gibraltar in endgame. A lot of teams have this legend on specifically for that moment, so it can really topple some of the giants if they're missing that pillar of their team.
Yeah, I mean, 8 kills, 6 assists. I mean, you always expect a lot of assists with these teams. There's just so much focus fire. I mean, I always go back to our background of where we weren't competitive, really in any sport that we play, but I always go back to Overwatch. Focus fire is so important in basically every single video game. Anytime you can just team up on one guy, it doesn't matter how good you are. It's 3 against 1 in a lot of situations when you're shooting, and that's why you're going to see those assists. But the 8 kills with 2,000 damage really means that you're just housing out some damage, because you got to remember, these are the best of the best. They're going against good players who don't give up a ton of damage from them from their own selves because they can't. They only have a limited amount of resources. It's impossible to loot in these games. I know if it's hard for me to loot in Plat, it's hard to loot in these games, and it's way harder. Nobody's letting you get away with that for free. So I think there's just a lot less damage. So anytime you break a 2K, I know these guys get 4Ks and all that crap. You know, it's not me.
4Ks, 20 bombs, dropping YouTube tutorials on how to do those things. Like,
Yeah.
like anyone can just like, oh yeah, a YouTube tutorial. I watch that, I get the 4Ks. It's not that simple. These players are sick and they know it.
Yeah, absolutely. So either way, Jaren, we've talked about him for the longest time. Shoots, his tracking is very good. But honestly, I feel like Banshee, I know we saw his stats being higher, but I mean, I was noticing during the last cast that we did that his aim is very on point with what Jaren's was doing. Just crisp tracking. It's so impressive. I do it every once in a while on somebody going up in the air, and I'm like, ooh, I'm so good. But I mean, these guys just do it on a consistent basis. They hold angles like it's CSGO, and I mean, it so good. That's all I have to say.
We saw a little bit of indecisiveness in that final circle. It seemed like literally Vibing was the only team that was focusing a team. And like you were saying, focus fire so important. They really did a hone in on that team on their right side that was taking cover by those rocks when literally Vibing themselves were under the train tracks. And it seemed like the team that was over there by the rock and back burner up top where Kenji was and where the game ended, they weren't really decided on which team they wanted to fight, but literally Vibing, they kind of had it figured out the entire way that we've got this to answer first, and then the end game, if we even win this first fight, is this team up top, which ended up being Backburner. How do you decide in those final moments in high ranked games how to focus someone down? You were saying it's so important, but in the moment, how important is that IGL, that in-game leader, just shot caller and focus out those targets?
Well, I know you said who to focus. When do you know it's the right target? The right target is whoever your IGL calls. At the end of the day, if you go, I think he's wrong, and you all start shooting different ones, even if it's right or wrong, I think that's another thing that we know from anything that we've done is that you just kind of gotta go with the team focus, and it'll usually pan out for you because even if they mess up, they've been doing this for so long. You're better off just accepting what they do. And how do you do it? I think you just all have to be on the same wavelengths to begin with a little bit. You kind of all see some of the same stuff. You're so used to playing with each other. Maybe it's a simple call out. You're looking at something else. He says, cracked so and so, look right, and you just go, I trust this guy. Boom. You laser some shots. You find the guy, and then you get that knock rather than maybe sticking with what you thought was right. So I think it's just kind of that trust is what really finds you that teamwork a lot of the times in these high ranked games.
And during game number one, we kind of touched on how literally Vibing, they do only play together. So that trust is there. When someone calls a target, they've got their firm, solid IGL, and then Banshee knows what to track down, as does C-Dive, but pretty sure Jaren is going to be their IGL. They're always playing together, and when a target gets called, they know exactly what to do. And we saw in that game, much like in day number one of the finals last week, they had to work for that final zone. They had to push in between two teams in probably the most uncomfortable spot to stand. That was the most valuable spot at the end of the game. How important is it to get there, get that rooftop over your head when the end game starts to have the sky fall on you with those Gibby ults? That can save your bubble cooldown. That can save other cooldowns, ultimates that you've got in the bank as well. And even though you've got two teams shooting at you, that roof over your head and that position that you've just got to dig for can really pay off in the end.
Yeah, and that's the best part about Caustic is, if you don't have a house, build a house, and they built one right there, right under there. They were doing some hobo living, but they found their way under the bridge, and it worked out really well for them. It was cheap rent, but they made it work.
Extended light mag here, level 2.
Very good job from them. Dark Matter not actually dropping Fragment. I've noticed that Fragment was the hot zone earlier on. Looks like we've already got a fight here going on. Dynamite and Patty have been down so far, but they are on two separate teams. Right now, it's CCO Esports in the mix right here, and that's a great grapple to get up to the high ground. I am so surprised that spot is even in the map. Unlucky that he fell down right there. Blaze getting some shots in just to keep the pressure on, but CCO Esports, they're in Fragment, they're in the hot zone, they've got blue armor all the way around and a jump pad ready to go. This team could be rumbling in the streamer building any second.
I've done this jump pad so many times, that's right where it goes. And they're going right in. They're all going to be trying to shoot at this one guy that stayed on the high ground. They're missing some shots. They get the cracks, but DMG is going to fall exceptionally low. El Roro, 1 HP, going to have to try to pop his bat. Hope he doesn't get third party from another squad right now. But he does. El Roro goes down. Now there's a trade. CCO is down, but Heisenberg gets the answer onto Jamstick.
Really actually didn't look too good for CCO. They were it was the right move to aggress, but one player up on that rooftop was able to crack 2 of them, and that puts CCO on the back foot, but it looks like they've got another, or not a down, but a finish on Dubai. All in that might be the squad wipe there, or there might be one member left at large. I'm not actually sure.
And they get the recovery, which is honestly all that matters at that point, but I believe they got some of their KP out of that. 1 or 2 didn't quite get to track it down. But CDI has spotted somebody else. They haven't spotted much armor, but they've spotted this down. Script on B2B is going to be going down. He made it to number 5 last time, but going to be finding himself caught out early right here. And to our number 1 reigning team. They've only lost 2 out of their last, 7? So, 7 league games. So, Literally Vibing is still on quite the hot streak, even if it hasn't been as hot today.
Yeah, I mean, when you're winning 6 games, I think they've won 6 out of 8 of their last games. I think that's what it actually is.
Correct.
But absolutely insane. 75% win rate in the finals of an invitational tournament is ridiculous.
It's pretty strong. It's pretty decent. Ranked is harder. Running in, still not sure about this statement they're making that ranked is harder, because I don't think so. But either way,
they're at 11th right now on the back half of our leaderboard, but that's a crack we see right there from the Octane. They're going to be pushing in right here. I love it. Throws in that thermite to pick up the down, and that's going to be enough here for this building to be as aggressive as they want, cleaning up this kill. Fantastic Wraith, one of my favorites, just stomping all over.
I think that's what they call stomping in the yard. Not sure.
I don't think so.
I
try.
Kind of did. Well, and I saw this in the kill feed actually as it was going. I thought this team, S2 Alliance, had a massive clutch yelk because they lost 2. I was watching that in the feed while that fight was happening or finishing up, and I was like, Crashdown's squad is going out. I can't remember who he was a part of. S2 Alliance, I don't know who they got. The way Team Viral, looks like they just used their Revolt, or that was a visual glitch. One of the 2.
There's quite a few visual glitches in the observing, but I think that Respawn, I mean, if they're going to go with these private codes for the tournaments, you would think that they would have those observer kinks really worked out. But they don't quite have them all yet. We've seen a lot of reses come through where the zone is closing at a million miles an hour. So, Chad, if you see that and it's happening during a res, just probably not happening. Don't panic.
Seen it as much. I think it's still happened, maybe even today. But I mean, as you were saying, you'd think they might have nailed some of that down. It's like maybe, but they also have way smaller test portions for something like this. If they're only giving out certain codes, they're not going to get as many tests. They're not getting as much feedback. And at the end of the day, the game still works. And the spectating is just kind of the secondary sprinkle, whatever you want to call it, on top. But either way, they still improve it all the time. From what it used to be, it is so much better now. I haven't even been doing it long enough to really key into all of that. But either way, RGR, if traps are blown out, they're going to try to push around this. They're just going to shoot around it for right now. Octane always getting the gold shield, yo. I love that because he is the entry fragger. He is the one who's going to be taking those angles because he can get out so quick. And it looks like a pincer is going on to them. It looks like they might be getting locked in this tunnel on both sides. RGR looking to go out right now. And TikTok trying to get those cells off. The quick recovery is possible, but he's going to have 3 people rolling up on him, and he's going to be getting rolled right out. Up the kills that they needed, but Dark Matter now wants to get this third party. I don't know if enough damage was done to CCO though to really get the third party they're looking for.
Dark Matter on the doorstep, looking to go in. Those shield swaps though did already come through, so they've got to do a full amount of damage onto this team. No doubt picked up yet. We could see the first there as 2 cracks coming onto that gold armor, but CCL Esports are clinging to the back of this vault, and they might actually just have what it takes to make it out alive, but Dark Matter still has some armor in their hand. They've gotten it down, make it 2. Heisenberg is the last one to deal with, and the Octane falls, and that's Dark Matter with their first squad wipe of game number 3.
Really good idea to spectate Bacavelli, because he almost did way more than he did, but that alternator is, I will not stress how much of a game changer that is, because it just destroys shields. And then we all know an alternator against regular health is pretty good too. But when it can just do 80 damage in 3 bullets, I mean, gross.
Dark Matter, the number 2 seed, currently placed 8th after game number 2, so they're really liking that squad wipe they picked up, but they know that this game can't be over for them yet at just 1 squad wipe or 2. They've really got to climb on this KP board and probably get
This
total of at
rotation,
least
Yonk.
10 kills to get back in. I mean, they've got to run, though. I mean, they're staring down, literally vibing at the top of this hill. They probably knew it as well, and they're just taking that zip, getting out of there, and leaving this one up to, I believe this is S2 Alliance, the closest team to literally
It
vibing.
is. That's a hell of a rotation, but they are opting to go all the way around. It's probably because they didn't expect that grapple to come through for them to leave so quickly. Because honestly, if they stick that building and S2 Alliance sticks their building, if Team Dream sticks that building, they probably just shut out completely. I keep wanting to say Team Viral Yuck, but literally Vibin, sorry. 20 teams, 18 teams, whatever it is. Gets, a little confusing. Say so many at once. Team Dreams, though, what were they at, Yelk, after last game? Do we remember?
They were at 4.
Yeah, I thought
Very close to cracking into the top 3. They might actually be there now, but Bursty takes
Backburner.
down Etymology.
On the back foot right now, losing 1 player already, and Buff Pathfinder is hungry. 10 squads left, and they have, it's seemingly only 1 to 2 kills so far, so they're going to need to try to get this finish.
Have a slower game just chasing down these squads, but slower games are usually more consistent. Buff Pathfinder can't afford to have that one right now. Bursty getting that finish onto Etymology. Backburner now with just 1 member left, I believe, hiding behind this rock, and going it is Bursty. That's going to be the down on the miss, because that means there's 1 member left standing, and make it none as Kenji falls to Dre. Buff Pathfinder with a squad wipe of their own. They're loving life right now, but they've got to be careful outside this zone to get in soon. Of course, it's close by, but in 30 seconds, it's not gonna be.
It isn't going to be. I almost just tried to find my controller to click the map to see how far I had to go to make it to circle, because that is when I go, oh no, we need to go yesterday. But I think they're going to be fine, because they have a balloon right here, Yelk, which is going to help their rotation. But the problem is with using a balloon is everybody sees it, hears it, knows where you land, and you're also flipping as to who you might be landing on, or who knows where you're coming in from, but you don't quite see them. Team Dreams, great position here, right in Lava Siphon.
Threw the Gibby bubble down as well, just to get this scan off. And how important is it to have just a scan hero or recon hero on your team, so you get that information of where the zone is going to be at?
It's always important, Yelk. I mean, you can just plan ahead even further. And that's the thing, is we always say placement important. And what makes placement so important, it's not just the points. It's that if you get placed high and you get good positioning, kills just come. People get pinched out. People get put in bad positions if you've already rotated in early. And it just makes the game much easier for you. Again, it's not easy. If a team's really good and you're not that good, positioning does nothing. You just get aped out. It's over. But all these teams are good, so.
All of them definitely are. Buff Pathfinder, the current number 1 team, did just finish off B2B, who came in as our 18 seed. So a little bit of a mismatch and a firefight there between Pathy and B2B, but that's just how it shakes out sometimes. Bursty did pick up that kill. That helps him out for the tournament. He's just had such a good tear that he's been on in these last couple of weeks. Now we're seeing Team Dreams. This should be Dark Matter that they're lining up that Arc Star against, but I'm not sure Dark Matter are actually aware of their presence.
I would tend to agree with you. Buff Pathfinder, though. How do they get these gold armors, man? Where are you go? Like, how did... I don't know. I think it's because we get to see everybody, and it's like someone always has it. I'm like, where's my gold armor? you know, I would like a gold armor. It's so good. Ooh, Bursty's in a tough position, but he's going to use that arm shield to get that crack. Almost no bullets hit him in return, and they're going to bounce pad right in, lobbing the shield and saucing it up. Order up. Bursty's in, and that's the quickest squad wipe we're going to see all night.
That is a main tank play from Bursty right there. Going in, the Octane spearheads it with the jump pad, and then Bursty holds it down with that Gibraltar bubble. Gives him a place to fall back to if things get hairy, but when the squad wipe comes through like that, it just does not. I mean, every player, there's focus fire, and then there's knowing what duels every member should be taking, and that's how we saw Bursty looking left right there to make sure that that off-angle fire was not coming in, shuts that down, and we get the squad wipe. Looks like Dark Matter is in a great spot here controlling Lava Siphon in these windows. This is where I love to operate if I'm in this part of the map. I don't like to be on that middle high ground.
No.
I like to have a roof over my head and walls around me, much like
too.
they've got.
I like to have a door for my caustic traps because I'm going to be playing caustic, especially if it's ranked. Unless I have one. I just can't get over how good caustic is right now. And it looks like, you know, Buff Pathfinder, one of our top teams, isn't using it, but it's because you don't have to. I do love this Buff Pathfinder team call they have right now. Hostile spotted by Bursty. Scary. Dre. In on it. Maybe it's not a hostile. Maybe it's just this care package with this alternator Kraber or something cool. Oh, it's an
Shots
alternator.
coming in from Bursty. We could spectate him all game, and that's Dre picking up the alternator too. Listen, in the hands of Dre, I just want to see him with the Kraber at all times, but I'm sure that guy is going to be nasty with that alternator. This is actually a very tricky spot for Buff Pathfinder. I believe one of these teams is literally vibing that they're squaring off against. Not quite sure who that team on the right that Bursty shot last was, but sure we'll find out eventually. This team just kind of bunkering up inside this building, not looking to take a fight until this next zone gets a little bit smaller.
Look at that. Look at Dre too. Dre actually doesn't take it. Somebody had to take it. Oh, and S2 Alliance gonna be rolling in. They want this fight, but they got all blues, yo. They get the heartbeat read. They know they're there. They might go for the scan. They're gonna hold it for right now because they don't want to. They want to use it to deny something.
Yeah, it's not the best engagement tool anymore at Nerf. It's a much better mid-fight tool. It was probably a better mid-fight tool before Nerf, but now that is just a routine way for players to use in the high ranks. And we do see that Seer ultimate pop in now, and that's 2 downs we've seen already, and they're going to be chasing this third. Dre is low, but he does not care. He knows he's got some support behind him. They are going in there thirsty for this KP. Buff Pathfinder has been all over the leaderboard today, and they're looking to get 3 more up on the board as they're able to wipe that squad. Drake coming in with the Prowler. No shields to his name, but as much confidence as he's had all game on that push.
That looked like me and the homies just rolling up all confident after a team fight, and then you just walk into the Pred squad with red and gold armor, and you just go, "Oh no, Dad, what happened?" Because that turned on its head. They rolled up all confident. They're like, "Oh, we know where they're at," and then they just were like, "Oh, we're just gonna bully you," and they do. Wait, Bacavelli going in. They're trying to take this high ground position right over Jaren and the boys, Jaren and the Funky Bunch.
Right over Jaren and the boys, but is this team on that rock that is going to have pretty much a window of their choosing to third party if any fight does happen up on this roof or inside this building. So that's going to be an eye on as well. Just remember, Team Viral is lurking just outside these walls.
Yeah, they're just a couple of scavengers. They're going to be looking to come in when all the damage is. What? It's going to be tough because some of these teams, I think 2 of them are running Caustic right now. I believe there are 3 teams surrounding this building. We have Buff Pathfinder. I forget who Bacavelli is on. If we could just get a run
Dark
through
Matter
who's
Perp,
here.
I do
Dark
believe.
Matter. Okay. So this is actually a pretty high stakes now. It's the building as well. All these teams probably got the scan, and that's why they rotated here so early.
That's actually Dark Matter that this team is shooting at right now. They're the teams up top, and this is kind of an ideal time to throw one of those straight up nades, put a jump pad down, and just send it. If that's what you're feeling, if you're feeling like being aggressive, this is the time to make that play. But Pathfinder, they're looking to make a little bit of a different look. This down below is actually literally vibing. On the roof is Dark Matter Perp, and then we see Buff Pathfinder on this high ground side of this building.
This is a standoff. Does everybody just shake hands and make it so Team Viral can't push in? Dark Matter's trying to fend off this Rev push. Who's
I
the
believe the
Rev
rev
team?
push is coming from Team Viral. Yeah, pinged
Okay.
outside. They're the
Okay.
team that was lurking around that rock, just trying to get some damage in, but not actually taking the full fight here. But definitely causing
That
some
might be a
commotion,
mistake.
making Dark Matter play on their toes. I think it is a mistake too, but only if Dark Matter pushes this. Zerk is going to have to commit the jump pad, and then they know they're along the rocks, they're off this building, and that third party from either of the
Well,
two teams left in the building could come through.
They had to make a play, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to get Gibby Alter, they're going to get pushed out, and they're going to get mowed down by Dark Matter, Team Viral, and everybody who's left inside this building. The crack comes out, trying to get the damage. Another crack's going to come out. Maybe it was just a cell that came up and it got hit. Who really knows? But they hold this positioning very, very well. I think they might have just got Caustic ulted back there. No, they...
Yeah, I mean, the ults coming in like crazy. Team Viral, unfortunately, this is going to be where their game 3 ends. I don't see them making it out of this one alive, even if they're somehow able to. They no longer have ultimates online. That jump pad isn't
Wait.
what you would call close. Come up on
It's
90%.
close.
Maybe if they can get a res off, they could actually get that jump pad down in time. Shots still, though, coming in. And in the meantime, literally vibing, just chilling under this roof, sharking this team, Dark Matter Perp up top.
Oh my goodness. They're gonna get the res. They're probably gonna get the next res. They're gonna have the... Just using these... Yeah, they're using them as bubble. They're using them as barriers.
Build a house.
Build a house on this rock. This might be a cheaper house than under that bridge right behind it. Wow, another close circle. Not quite the same, though. Finally, different. The bridge.
I do believe Dre is the last member for Buff Pathfinder left in this one, unless those two members
No,
on the
those...
far back side are
I think they
part
might
of
be
it.
split. I don't know. Dre is just taking
Yeah,
a
they
crazy
must be.
angle.
Okay. Team Viral just got knocked out. Fence not
Yeah.
able to make it to that doorway, so their game is going to end there. Dre rotating around to the right side is actually going to find the
Yep,
rest of his
Pharisees
team, who
out.
you can
Shroom.
see popping
Up.
up now. What team is that alongside the rock that's going to have an awfully tough
Talking
time
and
following this
Fudo?
zone in?
I don't know, but they're not having a tough time. They're going to launch right in. It looks like going right up and getting focused right on out. Fudo Larvae cut down. Ouch. That's all I have to say about that.
It's a quick
Talking.
end to them, and we've
Gone.
got Dark Matter, Buff Pathfinder, and literally vibing left in. Again, 3 teams in the top 4. This is what it comes down to. I think
Everybody-
Dark Matter have set themselves up the best to actually win this game, win their first of the day, but it is not going to be easy as we start to see the sky start to fall yet again. in
Machiavelli
this end
goes.
game.
They're sending him. Oh, Dre has the Kraber yell.
Comes in with the Prowler. Doesn't miss those bursts. We're down to the final 2. Buff Pathfinder just took down Dark Matter Perp. The bubble gets thrown out here. It's our final fight between Literally Vibing and Buff Pathfinder. And just like that, Literally Vibing come in, they throw the bubble down, they don't miss the shots, and they take home game number 3.
I mean, well done by Literally Vibing, but again, not easily done. One thing that I was kind of thinking, I don't know if I said it out loud or not, but when all 3 of those top teams had each of their building positions, right? Each had their building spot. I was like, are they just all going to kind of just shake hands and just, you know, like, we're going to just take 3. Let's all take 3, and we're just going to kill everybody around. Obviously, there was no actual agreement made because that would be match fixing, Yelk. You can't do that. But when you all have those positions, you just respect who's in there. One team down below has Caustic, team up top. Really hard to push a team up top. We kind of saw that with Dark Matter. Everyone that pushed them up top, it would be like a little peak. It would either get pushed off or mowed down. So you really couldn't do much to Dark Matter Perp up there until Machiavelli made that mistake where he just didn't find his way under that cover and got hit by the Gibby ult. I think he got hit by the Gibby ult, he quick it, and then he got cut down by Literally Vibing on the off angle, or whoever eventually got him. But either way, one team goes in and cleans up Dark Matter. Literally Vibing just comes in second. That's the game of Apex right there. But at the end of the day, the difference between first and second is only 3 points. Not really much when you're talking about how many kills all of these teams get.
It is 3 points, and that is going to go to Literally Vibing. They also did get the squad wipe, and that second place team was Buff Pathfinder. So they got a full squad wipe. They got the 3 placements. That's going to chip away at that lead a little bit more. That should actually put Literally Vibing on top of the lobby now with their second win in a row. Can they get a third? They've done it before in day number 1. Day number 2, when the competition is at its highest, is going to be a little bit tougher. But game 4 is going to be here in just 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Things have just gotten interesting.
And we're back, literally vibing, taking another one here in the CGL final, the summer series, Yelk. It's not the June one, it's the summer series 2021. Map 4 coming up. Do they do it again, Yelk? Do they take another win? I mean, what is it? 7 and 9? 7 and 9 on the wins here.
7 wins out of their last 9 games in the Invitational.
But again,
pretty insane.
I think at this point, wins aren't even, they are important, but let's just, oh, it's KP. Okay, I thought we were going to go to the other part, but here we're at the KP. We'll just talk about this and we'll go back to that. Dre here, one of the big guys that we like to talk about, 10 kills in a 2.3 game, Yelk. Second, not first, but still pretty good.
This is Buff Pathfinder. This is actually going to keep things very close here because I do believe they were ahead of Literally Vibing in the kill race for that last game. So they only had a lead of 7 points over them, and they lost 6 guaranteed when they lost first position to Literally Vibing. But hey, things are awfully close here. Dre doing everything in his power to keep this team in it. If they aren't able to win the games, 10 kills is incredibly impressive no matter what lobby you're in, but in this one, it is certainly something else. Breaking that 2K by the most amount of damage we've seen all day. He's got 2,310, 4 assists. This team doing a great job of finding kills. And he's the one on the Octane. This is what we saw Bursty on last week, but he's on the Gibby. So we've got Dre on the Octane. That little switch up does seem to be working for him. They're a little more competitive today.
Look at that.
And that was enough to keep them in front by a lot. This team, Buff Pathfinder, they're cranking the dial up to 10. Hunting for all the kills across the map, playing with their lead, knowing that they've got some confidence, and they've got, now they've got close to 20 points of a lead that they could just blow off. Being a hyper-aggressive team, if things don't go their way, that's fine, but if they can continue to get away playing that play style, it's going to pay off. They're going to be our champions. I don't expect them to stop. Game number 4, expect to see the exact same kind of performance you've been seeing all night from this team.
Yeah, at this point, Literally Vibing just needs to find Buff Pathfinder as early as possible and just roll the dice, you know? It's obviously very hard to find a squad, but if you can find them, you might want to and knock them out, because that's what you're going to have to do right now. You've got about 20 points to make up for. You can win and you're still not there. You have to win and get 8 kills just to catch them, and Buff Pathfinder has to not play. But again, this is the most competitive thing that we have casted in Apex up until this point, and I don't think it's close, because we've seen teams run away with it on these big days. And this is a big day, and you can say that Buff Pathfinder's running away with it, but anything can happen, yo. One bad game can just put them right back in line with everybody else, and then they're asking questions. And Literally Vibing is still being so consistent right now.
And we did see in game number 1, Literally Vibing was knocked out early. So we're talking about it could happen to Buff Pathfinder. It's the only reason why Literally Vibing aren't number 1. They're down close to 20 points. It's because of that first game early wipe that they suffered from. If it wasn't for that, it'd be a much closer game. They might even be on top because they've won the majority of the games today. They are the most winning team in the tournament. They are the most winning team of the final day, which is now. But unfortunately, one game is all it takes. That's why they're all going to matter. The next 3 we're halfway done are as big of games as anyone has been so far.
That's the thing, is winning is important, but with this style, it's not going to get to a point where you have to win a game. It's just after 6 games, who has the most points, they are your champion for the summer series. And as of right now, Buff Pathfinder is taking that in stride. They're taking the hot lead, but Literally Vibing is no slouch at getting kills. They know how to get KP as well and win the game. So if they can start matching the KP and getting those wins over the next 3 games, let's just say they win the next 3, that's 9 extra points guaranteed if Buff Pathfinder happens to take second. So if they can get those extra 9 points, I'm saying the extra 3. You know what I mean, right, yo? You get what I'm saying.
I'm doing the math along with you. I know what you mean.
I get where that would be confusing. Like 3 points for a win, that's nothing. Or not, whatever. But
that's up.
There's a way to start chipping away at this. for literally vibing, and then all they really need is buff Pathfinder to just, you know, take this heat that they're doing. They're like, keep playing the same game, keep playing the same game, and then when they trip and fall, it's gonna look like a big one, because buff Pathfinder could truly fall right out of this, and even though it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, and I think this is the point of the night, the halfway point where we see these teams that are in the hunt to win the tournament. They're going to crank up the dial. Literally vibing is going to become more aggressive tonight. It could turn around and haunt them later. It could get them knocked out early, but it's probably the barrel they're staring down, the thing they know they have to do, but it's not the strategy they want. Their strategy is to win the game, not just get the most kills. It is win the game. And they're going to have to change things if they want to catch Buff Pathfinder, because if Buff Pathfinder can stay consistent, get top 3 finishes with the amount of kills they're getting, or even close to, they should have it locked down. So these other teams, literally vibing, Backburner, Team Dreams, Viral, those teams in the hunt, they're going to have to step it up, and now is the time.
Absolutely. And one thing I noticed there, El Roro, get a new controller, man. We all saw that stick drift. Get a new one. You're in a high-ranked tournament. Anyway, taking a peek at Fragment right now. Some falling down buildings. Some beautiful dropship up top. It's like a hammerhead shark. Look at that. But in the sky. Who's taking
Never noticed that.
Fragment?
It is kind of like a hammerhead shark.
Jams.
If you were to drop Fragment, where do you drop?
Right there, to be honest. Because you either drop here. Well, are you talking about me and you? Ooh, we're off to a fight real quick. 40 damage done. El Roro getting the stick drift under control. Early.
Team's already pretty well kitted up too. They've got a 301. They've got an L-Star Volt set up, a Hemlock with another legend on this team, and I'm liking how this team is looking going into this first fight. They might actually have the kit to rush this team they're shooting at, trading some shots with right away, and they could even give chase. They've got the Octane, they've got the Pathfinder. This is a mobile team that's looking to get some kills early. CCO Esports has mixed it up early in every game so far, but they've also gotten eliminated rather early. That's a great grapple to get out of dodge from that Arcstar, falling back in with the rest of the team right up to where he was and taking advantage of this positioning he had.
That right there is why Pathfinder will always be a fringe meta pick. I feel like unless he gets a better passive, it's going to be really hard to push him over the top. But at the end of the day, that grapple just does something that nothing else in this game does. And now they're going to surround this building. They're going up against a Caustic, but this is a chance where you probably have the most nades that you're going to have all game. They're going to have to bust these doors down. Solo Q. This is who it was in that last game. That was on the side that had the full set. Solo Q back.
Team Dreams trading out some shots here. In the meantime, Ranked is Harder did actually just pick up a down onto CCO Esports. Team Dreams did get that squad wipe there onto S2 Alliance, and I'm interested to see what Ranked is Harder is getting up to, see if they're still in the fight that they were just engaged in, because anytime that Slinky gets a kill or goes down, tides have immediately changed for that team. Slinky is one of Ranked is Harder's better players, and anytime he's up in the kill feed, I'm interested to see what that team is up at. Geyser, though, we haven't actually seen this part of the map. Everything has been a Western pull so far. Ranked is Harder. They've actually got one down. Slinky's playing with very low HP. Gazan actually just got down as well. Slinky falls as well. That Arcstar connects for an absolute mammoth of a hit. And that should be one down, but it's not enough to finish off the squad. And Solo Quebec is actually going to be wiping out Ranked is Harder.
Yeah, that was a good little fight for them. I mean, it was a good Arcstar, but at the end of the day, 3 people versus 1. It goes one way, but wait, someone just flew right in on top of him. CCO is back in the mix here?
CCO's been right around this building this entire time, just poking and prodding in. The entire squad is in this, and it looks like that was a very quick squad wipe for them. That was insanely weird.
You
as
know
the free cam goes into the train tracks.
Do you know what I think they did? I think CCO rotated out or something, because we were gone from them for a little while. Because they had to have left. That fight happened in a 3v1. No one came in really early. And then CCO flew in. I think they fell down to low ground and then just took the geyser back right when that fight was ending. That's my only answer to what I just saw. Like, honestly. I know they were there the whole time, but I think they just dropped and took geyser in or something. They had to have. Anyway, new fight. Backburner. One of our favorites. Not getting it done as much as they need to, but still as we've said, made it to the final day. Still a solid team here. Genji.
They're
what are
not
they?
they're not in the money yet, but they're in
close.
4th place after that
Yeah.
last game. Yeah, they're four points out of a top 3 in the money finish, so
Exactly.
they're right in there. They're one of these teams
Ooh.
in the hunt like we talked
You
about
see
that could
that?
be just hunting some KP. I love that charge rifle no scope goes upstairs and Prowler's down. Mispa Shroom is going off right now. He's got the hot hand for this team.
Oh, that tracking. Oh,
Wow, that was
mercy.
beautiful stuff there from Bursty. I mean, making a name for himself every time he's got the camera on him. This guy is a showstopper.
Oh, that 54 through the sky. One was sliding, one was flying. Now he can't hit for more than 18 here. Oh, hits for 62. Pulls that out, puts him away. Dre getting it done, but he's going to die to the Caustic? Caustic trap? Not quite.
Barely clinging to life. Dark Matter Perf is the team on the outside that Zerk was on, who just got finished off. Shroom
Oh, man.
getting the kill onto him. It looks like that was a third party too, because Shroom did pick up 2 downs and then Zerk came in.
Oh
So
my
it
God.
looked like Dark Matter was hunting to be a third party into this fight, but unfortunately Zerk gets a little bit ahead of that team with the jump pad and pays the price.
I don't know if you saw the determination in Dre right there. He was just like, I'm going to get this trap without setting it off. I'm going to get this trap without setting it off. Sorry. Just a little mini game I got to see, but literally vibing up in this building. C-Die got no armor on him, but Banshee and Jaren, the 2 big boys with when it comes to damage, not just size. Ooh, finds a Caustic trap. Doesn't want to go there. Just
He picked up a purple armor. This team is now kitted, and
Yep.
this is what you like to see. Even though they were not even involved in the fight that happened here, they certainly benefit from the loot on the floor and the positioning that these buildings offer.
Yep. After this game, when we go into the next one, we need to know where Buff Pathfinder drops, because they have 2 golds again, Yelk. Maybe literally vibing was the team with it. Oh, Banshee, you messed up your jump pad. Looks like me out there. Slides right past it.
Were they going for the building, or were they going for...
No. What he threw it down while sliding, and when it was so the pad goes down, it kind of has to build itself like every other thing you put down. It has to build for a split second, and if you get onto it too quickly, it just won't launch you. So he just slid right past it, had to do the walk of shame back around it. But a nice shot with the Sentinel, a gun that doesn't get enough love in these competitive scenes, and it's mostly because of the pacing at which it takes to shoot. It's got that, which means you just are limited in how much damage you can do in a certain given time.
Viral off against this team, pushing down the hill into them. They've got some long-range setup, but of course, they've got the Caustic and Gibraltar as well, so they can have the long-range guns all they want, but at their core, they are a brawl-style team. Article poking around with this sniper rifle, has to be careful. He did suffer from a crack earlier in this fight. Has to be sure that he doesn't peek for too long, because everyone knows he's going to be standing still with this sniper. Could be an easy target for some focus fire, but it looks like the eyes are not on him right now.
They're not. Team Viral, one of those teams, they just always hang around. I don't know what it is with them. It seems like we always see them at their worst in a way, kind of like Chuck Norris, who we haven't seen any at all today.
No, I mean, Chuck Norris actually is not in the final. They are one of the 2 teams not here. That's why we've got 18. Ebonito is not present, not sure
You're
what happened, if there
correct.
was any drama, or if they all just slept in. Not sure, but they're
Yeah, they
not
might-
with us today.
Yeah, it's tough to believe, but you know, I never know. Maybe they're just still loading packets. Just
With the amount of times Chuck Norris died in the first 3 minutes of games, I was shocked to see them in the grand final anyway.
yeah, and not
The amount of work
20th.
that man's teammates had to do to get him here in the first place was ridiculous.
Ooh,
That is a laser
147.
beam out of the L-Star there. Heisenberg starting to rain some lead, but we see the bubble push coming out now, and this could actually find some serious success as
Good
CCO
position,
Esports.
though.
They've got 2 members with cracked armor, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get these bats off easily. That's a great thermite and an arc star. It's going to be enough to take down 1, take down 2, and this is Bursty and Shroom coming in for Buff Pathfinder, and they're hungry for this last kill onto Heisenberg.
Yeah, they're gonna be running. Can they get? Nope. They're just gonna opt for the loot, which means Heisenberg gets out of there. Probably a good decision. 2 kills is kind of plenty at the end of the day. And if you hunt for that third, you never know what other squad you're gonna run into, and then put yourself into a worse position. Just take the loot you got. The third party coming. Look at this. They're coming through the tunnel. We just saw them. I don't think Buff Pathfinder did, because they missed the scan on this team that's coming through the circle. Look at this. They don't know. They have no idea. This could be Buff Pathfinder going out early. Bursty taking 75 damage early, but now they're going to turn it. Luckily, no other damage goes through, and Bursty doesn't even heal, just relays more damage back to them. Wow. Still holding
This
that
is
ult.
Fantastic mid-range play from Buff Pathfinder, taking good cover here behind these crates. It's really
This
not
is
much,
the-
but it's all they've got to work with as the ults start to come through.
They're playing against a bang right now because they just had to withstand a bang ult. Now the Gibby ult is coming in right on top of them. Scan coming out. Hard to see. We got that camera top left, which has been so good to catch what them swinging in on the back foot. Oh, this
Octane
position
pad
right
now.
here.
I love playing this high ground. I mean, this is king of the hill right here. Anytime a
Gonna
team
push them
pads up to
back.
this, you've got to respect it and fall back. There was no other move to make there. That's a fantastically placed pad there from Dre.
Absolutely, Shroom running up here, hitting the scan, and oh, that's a good little bit of damage that they're all gonna have to run through if they want to push this. Oh, Dre falls exceptionally low. Bursty hitting a ton of damage. Look at these peaks he's taking. Also has the arm shield, has the ult. I guarantee he's gonna. Look at that. Look at this guy. Bursty gets the kill and all that damage. It's a 188 on him. Just laying in the L-Star. You never have to stop shooting, Yelk.
Who is this guy? Bursty coming in up a staircase, staring down the barrel of two enemies and just does not let go of that trigger with the L-Star. Comes up clutch for his team. Not really clutch because everyone else was alive, but clutch in the fact that he was the spearhead and seemed to do all of it himself.
Yeah, he didn't have to be doing.
Didn't need help.
He could have. The thing is, he was down to basically having a gray armor, and then still was like, "Nah, I'm gonna push this because I'm gonna do it." God, I gotta pick up the All-Star more. I used it a few times today, felt pretty good, but it's still, I don't know. It's one of those ones it's weird. If you don't have like the kit around it, it's hard to do. Look at all these teams, y'all. I think some of them are actually pretty far away in the back, but RGR right in the middle of everything, looking to try to get their names on the board right now.
Zone's getting a little bit smaller. 12 squads left. Some leaders starting to pull away here. Buff Pathfinder still just holding up that aggression as we've seen in this game. I believe they've got 2 squad wipes so far in this, and that is the golden threshold. You want to break that 6 kill mark to not hurt your positioning on the leaderboard game after game, and they've already accomplished that. So Buff Pathfinder still looking strong as ever. Even if they get knocked out right now, they can still hold their heads high after a successful game 4, maybe even holding on to their lead. But it's going to be tough for other teams to climb back in when this team is just getting kills early, mid-game, and late.
Absolutely. Just kind of calm before the storm, as we like to call it. 12 squads left. Where?
Oh, literally vibing just got a
are
squad
you?
wipe on to guess who? Buff Pathfinder.
Whoa.
Literally
Woof.
vibing just took down in front of them.
Oh, but look, they're getting run up on now. And Buff is, I'm sorry, literally vibing is kind of low right now. Banshee's actually down. Zerk gets that. This is Dark Matter trying to make their play and trying to get into this.
I mean, this is the point where high-ranked teams are reading the kill feed along with us. They know. If they're going into a third party, they know what team just got wiped and what team is left standing. They see that this is literally vibing, and they are hungry to take him out of the game. It's now
Wow.
a 3 versus 2, going in with not the most shields, and it's actually going to be Graham going down first, but Say died.
Whoa.
Falls to the PK shot as well. Now it's just a 1 versus 1, and I do
the
believe
res.
it is Zerk, and it is Jaren left in this fight.
Yeah, but they're going to get this recovery here. There's no reason he won't get this off, but he goes for the med kit. Does he get it off in time? Now he's going to be swapping. He's actually should go down to this because he messed up when he was healing. No, he gets it off. I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Outside of the
It's the
zone here, they're going to
recovery.
have to work their way in, and I do believe that Jaren is just running to try and keep this team in it, get those placement points and chip away, because
Dang.
with Buff Pathfinder down, literally vibing on the board with some KP, they can chip away at that lead as long as they just manage to get more placement points. They don't have to just win this fight against Dark Matter, even though they're on their tails. Currently, going into this game, literally vibing had a 24-point lead over third place Dark Matter, so they don't have to worry about being the winners of that fight. If Jaren can just live, get this team some placement points, they've gotten enough KP to chip away at Buff Pathfinder's lead. That's the job they're trying to accomplish right now.
Yeah, but Buff Pathfinder cannot be much more. They're pretty happy that I'm sorry, Dark Matter Perp was the ones to push onto Literally Vibing because they needed Literally Vibing to not have an absolute barn burner of a run here. Because you know when you kill that top team, you just I feel like the next best team gets so much space every single time. And Literally Vibing kind of has been that next best team, even though they've been winning the game. When it comes to winning the most fights, that hasn't been them.
And with one member left, too, Dark Matter Perp, they don't really need to chase down Jaren, although it looks like that is what they're doing. Jaren takes a really good position, but he has already used that bubble. Zerk should have his jump pad on cooldown here so they can finish off this squad. Literally vibing. He's gotten the crack already. That PK shot only hits for 17. He's throwing tissues
Jaren's
at him,
out.
but it's going to be enough to get that down. Jaren just out of resources and Literally vibing. Falls out of the game in 11.
This, I mean, it's game 4 right now, Bert. I mean, it. That's exactly what we need to see. This opens up everything for everybody. Everybody needs to have a good game. Everybody can't have a good game, but everyone needs to have a good game right now. Mom for life in a fight, looking like their fall. Chaos already down. King taking a lot of damage, and Mayhem with the wingman trying to get it done. Gets the crack. Does quite a bit of damage, but run down with those shield peaks, and he's going to go right on out. Team Dreams also going to be winning a fight on the inside. We're whipping around. We just lost 3 teams in a matter of a minute right there, Young. We went from 11 to 8 very fast.
And 2 of the teams were taken down by Dark Matter Perp. That third place team, like you said, they've got teams ahead of them on the leaderboard out of the way.
Out.
They know they can be as aggressive as they want, and they need to be. Like I said, they're chipping away at a 24-point deficit going into this game just to hunt second place. It's almost 40 points behind first place. So if they want to get that top prize pool, they've got to get to some serious work in these final 3 games.
And they have to win. That's the thing too. They have to balance trying to win this next game and kills, because I always say positioning gets you kills, but it doesn't get you extra kills, and they kind of, as you just stated, they need those extra kills right now. So MXH hit the spray, missing a
Odo
spray.
just got hit for a big chunk. I believe that's a charge rifle coming in with 2 cracks. Team Viral
Love this
on
all
one
right
side
here.
of this hill in a different fight here. Fence already cracked, but Caustic ults, and that might make some space, or it might not, as this Octane pad article is just going to get him back to the team. But Fence actually did go down, not able to get out of the action there, and this push should be happening as well. Zerk, this is Dark Matter pushing this team as well. Dark Matter is so hungry in game number 4. They know the moves they have to make, and they have succeeded every single time so far.
Yeah, and Team Viral gonna be down their Caustic now. It's a free push team in a way. It's a 3v2 no matter who takes them on. But they do have their 2 best characters. They have their rotation, they have their bubble, but they're going to be out of a rotation right now, and Article is feeling it. He had to use the pad just to get back to his Gibby and wasn't even able to get Fence out. So probably going to be wishing he has the ult still, but he's also glad that they're not down 2 people. Oh, he's staring at that guy on the high ground. Not going to take the push. He doesn't want them to know they're pushing, putting the bubble down. Not even going to be full HP. MXH going to be going out right now. Not even sure to who. Who was that? Script. That's going to be B2B, actually. Our 20th. Well, I don't know what they are placed now. I think they're like 14th or something.
They're 12 right
seeded.
now with 1
12.
KP. They just tripled that, so
Yeah.
they're working their way up the leaderboard. Happy after that fight, but might not make it out of this one. RGR actually in the fight with Team
my
Viral,
beam.
pushing up here into the Octane article, and they're able to get that. That's a great
not
squad
dry.
wipe for RGR as they start to chip away at their
Dark Matter
4
goes
positions
up.
on the leaderboard. Another fight, action packed so far. Dark Matter Perp chasing them down. RGR already down 1 member.
Well, Dark Matter Perp loses Zerk, though. That's dangerous. You got your 2 tanks left, 2 beefcakes. Losing 2, it's a 1v1, and he's going to take it easily. It wasn't a fair 1v1 at all, Yelk. Machiavelli, the Gibby, staying up the longest, getting it done. No one gets finished, which is really big. You never want a player on your team to get finished. Because if
So
they get
shocked
finished...
we're not seeing a third party come into this team right now, too.
I know. I think the thing is we're down to 5, Yelk. This is considerably a big circle. And also, this is a hard place to rotate to. The backside from Thermal Station completely shut out. You can rotate from Tree, maybe take that jump pad, but as of right now, you're scared of this team. You don't want to give up your positioning, which is probably a building of some kind. Everyone has probably a pretty good spot right now. There's two structures that are inside, and one right now could be getting shared by two teams. And we
And
could
we've
have two
touched on the
rats.
end games. Sorry to cut you off. We've
No,
touched
no.
on the end games. Sometimes you get fed a win. If Dark Matter Perp win this game, just looking at their positioning now in the rotation they have to make, they're going to have to work for it. It is not going to be a freebie, even though they're pulling away with the KP in this.
Wait.
Already getting shot from the right flank, and this could
They-
spell trouble on their way into this car.
But they're in. They made it. They did what they had to do. They have the caustic. They can even use the caustic to try to block off of these windows a little bit more too if they want. B2B though in a pretty good spot. Huge nade. A big nade for the
big
burn.
nade. Good thermite too to chip away at this red armor, but no push onto this. This is a team that's playing with the Pathfinder and the Gibby. They like to hold the high grounds. They really don't have that brawl kind of setup that they're facing down against Dark Matter. So just playing this high ground, not trying to risk a fight where they could get third partied in this car. But Dark Matter is a team that they have to take care of early in this endgame.
I feel like that's the fight you gotta take. At a certain point, again, these guys are all better than me, but I feel like that's a bit of being timid. If you're, rated 12th right now, it's kind of tough.
I mean, you don't have much
Oh
to
my.
lose. This is some insane accuracy from Vaughn, just to keep this team on the high ground, off their backs a little bit. A superior team with superior positioning, but on the back of Vaughn, Team Dreams is able to escape that rough spot behind that cliff.
Sorry, my
Ogun, you're
blanked
good,
out
you're
a little
good.
bit. We're back mentally, physically, spiritually.
That's good.
Rule of three.
Good.
All right. Anyway,
2B, still up
Yeah.
on this high ground, chilling with the charge rifles. They've got pretty good high ground setup, good poke setup, but as this zone gets smaller and smaller, wait, just look at that orange
full send.
line. This
Wait a
could be
second.
closing on them.
this is a fight right here, Yelk. I don't even know who it is, but there's some third-party shots coming in, and it should be a third party if you ask me. Somebody has to try to make this happen here. B2B just holding their position, looking down on literally. I'm sorry, Dark Matter Perk. My apologies. Script's gonna get the knock on the Gladly Dreams. Team Dreams having a tough time.
B2B, they've got to heal up though. They've got the best positioning in this lobby. They can just use the natural cover to get all the healing in the world off. The zone is actually going to close on them very slowly. They can make a move late, but instead it's coming out early, and they might be paying for it too. Dark Matter gets one down. Zerk picks up a second. B2B, they were in the driver's seat of this game, and suddenly they found themselves on the back foot. And Caesar is all that remains for this team's hopes.
Machiavelli down though. That's a Dark Matter Perp. Gibby. Oh, and he's gonna get just aped out right there. Heisenberg's still alive. He's made it all the way to third here for CCO. Gonna just go into the sky and try to survive for a second. The armor swap onto this Caustic. Gonna get the kill though. That's a huge kill. And for the KP, gonna lock it in. Gonna also lock in second place here for CCO. Who's he going up against, Yelk? Team Dreams gonna take the victory. That was so dicey all game, Yelk. Couldn't even keep track of it.
I would like to say that Team Dreams, who were 5 before this game, find themselves in the money, but I just don't think they did enough because Dark Matter is that team on the bubble in third place, and I think they
Yeah.
had way too many kills to pull away and keep their positioning. So, great
Yeah.
job. Congratulations, Team Dreams, but I think the real story of game number 4 was Dark Matter Perp.
Yeah.
The two teams in front of them fell early. They actually had a hand in both of those fights, and they didn't stop there. Once they knew that both of those teams were out, they really did turn up the dial, had their foot on the gas all the way to the floor, and didn't let go of it until they were finally taken out. But we had a lot of good teams there move up in the leaderboard after Pathfinder and literally Vibing were knocked out. Neely, this one just got a lot closer.
This one did get a lot closer, Yelk. A lot more, basically exactly how we set this one up kind of happened in a way. Those two top teams went out kind of early, opened up a lot of space for number 3. And I mean, the story right now is going to be between those top 3 teams. After 3, I think there's going to be a pretty big gap. We're going to have to see how it shakes out just by our estimation. I think there's going to be a pretty big gap between 3 and 4. And for the rest of this night, it's going to be between basically see who can maybe edge their way into third and which ones can climb their way maybe to first and maybe knock Buff Pathfinder down a peg, because literally Vibing has to fight for it. There's no switch in the comp up tonight, yo. They are going to be sticking through all night with their main setup, and they're going to have to, and they're going to have to get those wins that they're so well known for.
Well, we're just going to have to see how it shakes out. Games 5, 6 are going to be right down the barrel here. Don't go anywhere. The top of the leaderboard. So close in these top 5 teams. Who's going to find themselves in the money? Stick with us for 5 minutes. We'll be back with game number 5.
And we are back with the CGL Summer Series. That one was a shake-up, Yelk. It really... I mean, we didn't even really know what was happening. We're usually pretty good at tracking what's going on, but so much happened in that one. The storyline, it didn't completely shift because it's still around those top 3 teams, but that was a shakeup, and we're going to see a bit of the gap close here for Dark Matter Perp. I'm not quite sure where they're going to land, but they've definitely moved up, or at least moved their way closer to maybe getting into second place.
Yeah, they definitely did really all they could in our game MVP. Look at that. Team Dreams are victors of the game, even though Dark Matter was probably the headliner of that game in terms of the job they did. Team Dreams really did surprise everyone, kind of stole that game. I would say they even had some help from the Rats that were left in this game. The one member remaining on their team just going in, getting a couple KP around Team Dreams. They had all 3 members up the entire time. They were able to hide behind that crate and get in those final shots. But Vaughn did a great job. We saw him hit some laser beams out of his rifle to just keep teams at bay, keep the pressure off of his team. And it really did kind of pay off for him. And here we do see the leaderboard. Things certainly getting a lot closer, but Buff Pathfinder still out in front. But look at Team Dreams clawing back very close to third place, even close to second. It is a tight race between those 3.
Yeah. And it's kind of hard to say CCO is even that close. They're basically outside of that by about 20, 18, 19. I'm not doing the math. You know, they're still kind of on the outside of that. Not as much change as I was expecting here, Yelk. But if you do compare the last stat board to this one, Dark Matter Perp did make quite a jump to close in on literally Vibing here. Buff Pathfinder, though, still maintaining that big lead over literally Vibing just because they went out so soon after Buff did, basically mitigating for both of those teams to climb very much higher and maintaining that same gap that they had.
We're going into game number 5. We're getting awfully close to that first place team, taking home that cash and that trophy. And I'm serious, we got trophies. Your Engraving Supply, our partner to provide the trophies to the winning teams. You can check them out on Etsy. That's, again, Your Engraving Supply. And also, you can check out CGL has a jersey merch shop opening up on what'snew.gg. They do. Can you believe it? You can actually get involved and get your hands on some CGL team jerseys. That's what'snew.gg. Look up the Console Gaming League collection, and What's New is spelled What's WHATS, and then new is a little bit different. It's NEU.gg. So check out our partners over there to get your hands on some Console Gaming League merch. And I mean, you can't just get your hands on a trophy, but thank you to Your Engraving Supply for providing the winning team their trophies.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they want a little bit of cash stapled to that trophy when they receive it. Yeah, they want to get that prize pool. And I don't know if second place gets a trophy here, Yuck. I know there's a lot of second place trophies out there.
I don't know if they do.
I can't imagine they do. But I mean, hey, makes sense. You get some money. Take it or leave it. Yes only provides for the best. So that should be their slogan. You can
get that
DM me on that
$175 prize pool. You can buy a trophy.
You can buy a trophy. But either way, yes only provides the best. DM me on that because I think that's a great slogan. Anyway, moving right along.
This is a good one.
I like
Great
that.
job with that.
Yeah, good job. Hey, good job getting into the ad, Yelk. I like that too. I was just about to be like, do I toss it to him on the ad? Do I let him talk about this?
I got it. They're hunting after that trophy.
Hunting it, dude. Everybody is. Going into game 5 especially.
Yeah, and going into game 5, we can start to see some of the legend picks going on right now. So we do have literally vibing. They're not going to be changing up the comp one bit. I don't think any of these top teams really are. I wouldn't imagine many teams would be at this point, but I would like to see some of these teams that are just going with the Wraith to just go with the Octane, because I think we've talked about it enough where any team that's won tonight has had the Octane, because that jump pad is something else. As often as you get it, it can just be so valuable. Von Dreams, the center of the champion banner there, and he deserves it. The MVP of the last game going into game number 5. Neely, money pool being on the money. It's so close right now. Buff Pathfinder, I think they're guaranteed some payout, but pretty much second place, third place is up for anyone.
Yeah, is anyone gonna? Are there gonna be 2 other teams that are gonna get, or are there gonna be 3 teams that get over 83 points right now? Because Buff Pathfinder is basically notching themselves in for 100 points right now, which is always just a monstrous amount of points in any of these things. It's so hard to do, but what? Heisenberg's down. Hold on.
Yeah, that is far too early and falling to a member of S2 Alliance. This is just RNG. They both dropped over here on the Geyser side of things. And unfortunately for Heisenberg, just separates a little too far from his team. And now we can see S2 Alliance, they do get a second down on the Blaze, finishing him off as well. S2 Alliance starting the game off very hot.
That's tough right there, Yelk. Who is Heisenberg a part of again? I do you remember offhand? I know I should. I've seen his name 3 billion times. He's on one of those top teams.
I know. Which
But it keeps escaping me. It's so many people.
I want to see. Who is he on?
Who was
I
he?
don't remember. I'm scrolling through. I'm finding it.
You're fine.
I'm finding it. CCO Esports. Well, where are they?
Yeah, they were in they were in 5th or 4th. They're on the outside of that bubble of having
Aurora
a chance.
is the only one they've got left right now standing, so it's going to be very tough to get back in the mix, but they should be able to get the banners. Our MVP of the last game, Vaughn, does come in and gets a crack before retreating off of that rooftop. He still has the other 2 members of his team alive, but it looks like they're pretty low on these shield cells. Dreams trying to get some off in time, holding down the doors, and they are bunkered up inside this building. They've got the caustic. They could be here for a while.
MXH, they get the bleed out on Kusanji, which is good because now they're in a 3v2 situation, and MXH is going to have to try to push in here and win this fight.
This actually means that Buff Pathfinder is close by, because I did just see that Bursty did kill a member of MXH, so I think that Team Dreams, they're aware of that now, and they're getting out of dodge, but the lead is coming into their backs, and I think they made that escape just in the nick of time, because you do not want to be anywhere near Buff Pathfinder.
Hit Dreams is kind of caught right now, though, and they might just push up onto him, and they're going to do just that. Now, Bursty is on this caustic, going to drop down. He gets shot at from the other high ground. Doesn't quite get him. And, oh, man, he drops down. What is this caustic doing? Hit Dreams. I thought he had gotten away with it, yo, but Bursty doesn't let many people get away with anything. He's got the wingman and the prowler, and somehow almost already 300 bullets. Where'd you get that, Bursty?
They can actually pick up 2 more KB here pretty easily, because Dreams, they are reliant on getting this banner back in the early game, and I think they're going to make a push for it eventually. So if Pathfinder just hang out around here, they should get these last 2 members of Team Dreams. They're locked in on the high ground right now. They've got pretty good peaks, but it's not too good to stay away from the bullets from Burst. Yes, he wingman's down. Dreams, I mean, gladly Dreams, and Vaughn is on the run. Not for long. Last game's MVP on a short leash gets taken down by Dre.
Also, no shot you can tell me that Hemlock is better than the Prowler. And there's just, I honestly think they do the same thing. The only thing the Hemlock does better is it can go single fire. We got a fight here between Slinky and, oh, this is a high tier fight right here. And it looks like, no, it's just a finish. Is it 2v2? No, there's a res. All right, I forget. Downed players don't show up, but they're back in it. Ranked is harder. That's who I was thinking. I didn't want to say it. Ranked is harder. I feel like they just... Oh, they get another finish.
Undeserved, too. I mean, Dark Matter is not looking good in this fight. Graham is able to come up those stairs and get a quick down, but it might not be enough here. Some good R99 shots from Gazan do hit. But he's got to run out of
Wait.
this door right now. And actually, Jaren comes in, literally vibing, finds themselves in the mix here. And they've gotten it down onto a member of each team. And it looks like that is going to be enough to finish off Dark Matter, get them out of the game very early. And that is going to be the green light for literally vibing to give chase. Slinky on the run, but he might not get far, clinging to about 5 HP and a dream.
But he's so fast, yo. Oh, he hits that sign. That could be it right there. A little bit of space. You can't mess up anything right now because you cannot get shot.
No, he can't even get insulted or it'll do enough damage to take him down. That's the thing.
Cannot hurt this man's feelings right now. But it looks like they're just going to opt to
Can't tell him
go for the
he's
loot.
having a bad hair day. He'll fall to his knees.
Yeah, he will. Gazan is over here.
I know. I mean, when you gotta run, you gotta run. You're not concerned
and
with
he's the one getting
grouping up.
pursued. But look, S2 Alliance is on the doorstep. This could potentially be literally vibing, maybe getting caught out, but they established that they were getting pushed. Jaren's gonna throw the ult down to try to push them away, and they've actually separated Crashdowns. What's he doing?
Comes in with the Wraith ability, going for a streamer-esque play, and it is not going to pay off one bit. And now literally vibing, even though they were in the toughest position of this engagement, they were the team that the third party was eyeing. They've found 3 kills so far amongst 2 different squads, and they are on the hunt now for 2 more KP.
Jaren probably just hit one of the best Gibby ults of the night right there, because what happened was he Gibby ulted it. 2 of the guys went, no thank you, because they were like, we can't just stand here. We don't have a Gibby bubble right now, and we can't wait for this portal to come through. And Crashdown had committed. We'll just put it that way.
And S2 Alliance, things are not looking good. Literally vibing, don't look like they're going to let them get out of their grip here. Chasing them down all the way. And we should see Banshee just relentless in his pursuit of this team. They want this 2 KP. They want all the KP they can get. They know where 2 very weak squads are, and they're looking to get after it. But they've got to be careful here along this lava fissure, because this is where you could run into a couple of teams that you're not expecting.
Absolutely. And literally vibing. Honestly, not that kitted up here, Yelk. They've got a purple and 2 blues. Obviously, they'll be quickly leveled up. You always give Banshee the big armor because he's going to be taking the most pokes. That's why he gets the most damage.
He's also been the best player in the tournament.
Yeah, 100%. You got to give the good player the good stuff. I don't know why.
Prop him up.
Dre and Bursty, I think, are flying right now because, they are flying, and they're actually going to be coming right in to literally vibing. So now, but literally vibing's going to just be getting out. So they don't want anything to do with Fence and the boys. They're just going to get right out of that pincer because that was about to be a nightmare. Wait, they went back down? What's going on? They're about to get rev ulted. The ult's down. The pad is down, and they're going to be going right in. Team Viral wants this KP. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get it because they're running into 2 of the best teams right now, Yelk, and they're just going to get sent right back.
Literally vibing, definitely up to the task here. They were just playing on that balloon zip line. They were getting in. They were getting all the information they possibly could. Slinky did get Kenji. Gazan takes down Etymology as well. Backburner seems to have already been out. And Dre actually just downed Jaren as well and taking him down completely. So literally vibing are down their Gibraltar, and they are in the midst of 3 separate teams right now who are only seeming to go after them.
Dre goes down, but he does so much damage before he does. So worth that peak, it wasn't even funny. But they don't have a caustic, so they're going to have to try to get this recovery and hope they don't get thirded too quickly. Got to get this ban off on Dre. Luckily, Dre's heals under those shields passively. But Team Viral is peeking in on him, but they didn't go for the ape. Because let's be honest, when Bursty's alive, you don't even need 3 people.
No, you really don't. He's had the hot hand all night. He wants people to know that, listen, Banshee statistically was the best player in the tournament, but we've said it so many times, nothing else matters but tonight, and tonight Bursty has been your best player. And RT Gaming, a team we haven't seen much of now, find themselves in a bubble fight, kind of taking some cover behind this rock, getting up to the high ground and just playing with a couple members left on this squad, but having a tricky time scouting them out. Looks like Flames is not quite sure what move to make, and it looks like Neuralink is false. Not quite sure what's going on here. That's a laser beam out of the R99. Oh my god.
Absolutely. I just had to go to Twitter real quick to post that we're going into our final game right after this, and it is so close. It's going to be worth a watch because this game, 10 squads left.
Yo, flying corpse.
Yeah.
Neuralink just comes in from the skies.
Just out of position on that landing, too. I've been... Dude, that... Make him a support. Oh, my goodness. He just misses all his shots. Flamebot just fans on the play. NRT Fuzzy is going to be getting out of there, and NRT Gaming is mostly out of this game. Backburner getting some KP, but again, it's going to be so hard for any of these teams to crack in. I love following the story of these teams I like Backburner, who've done well in the tournament prior to this, but it doesn't seem like they had it on the day just because some of these high caliber teams just pack such a huge punch.
Yeah. Dark Matter's sitting at 46 points. Backburner goes into this game at 23, so they have to double their point total in order to get in the money. Of course, you can make that up in 2 games. You can get 30 points in both games if you're really hot. But, I mean, in this kind of lobby, it is so tough to make those things happen. We haven't really seen anything like that all night. The closest we've seen is literally Vive, and they pick up 2 wins in a row, but they did it by not getting the most kills either game, and they didn't find themselves in first place even after that.
Yeah, it's been a tough showing. Wait, what is the good teams that have gone out so far? Dark Matter's out, correct?
Dark Matter's out, and they are the 3rd place team, so that does mean that Team Dreams should actually be in the money no matter what here.
No matter what. Okay.
No matter what, they were only down by 5 points, and I think they've already, if they haven't gotten it back,
assuming
they're right there. They're only a couple points away.
Assuming Dark Matter didn't do anything, not even get a kill, assuming they went out all zeros. But either way, S2 Alliance, a lot of confidence here for just a Pathfinder. I picked the one character, movement character. They're not playing. Wow. Bloodhound and
I mean, you say a lot of confidence. Is it confidence or is it nothing to lose?
Nothing to lose, Bert.
Because some of these teams, straight up, just having fun.
You got
finishing
it.
the night, going all out, trying to hunt those good teams and shake things up, and that's kind of what I like to see. S2 Alliance, they know that tonight might not be their night, but they can just completely change the outcome of this game by running into a good team and coming up successful.
But they made it far. We said it a few times, but they've made it this far. And oh my, speaking of making it this far, Buff Pathfinder, look at this armor situation. They're getting hit by that ult, but it's not a gibby ult, it is a bang ult, and they're going to just shrug that one right off. The damage isn't going to be there. The slowing effect will be, but not much can really slow this Buff Pathfinder team down. They're just going to be cruising right on in.
Trying to take this prime real estate here, making their way in. They hit the scan just to figure out where the enemy's at, but flirting with the edge of this zone. Not quite sure if they want to go into these buildings or the squad wipe or just linger around the outside and camp the kills, but it looks like Shroom breaks down the door without knocking, but it seems like the enemy has already made their way out. Nope, James actually just falls to Bursty there, so the last rat for that team taken care of, and who else but Bursty getting the KP for his team. What do you think of this heirloom? Probably my favorite.
The Gibby one?
Loba heirloom. No, Loba.
Well, Loba doesn't have an heirloom, yuck.
What was that? She held her cane. I figured it was an heirloom.
That's her ult. That's her ultimate.
I didn't know it. I figured it had... Oh, man. If they ever give her an heirloom, it better just be the cane.
That's what...
That looked sick.
You know what's funny is I've talked about this, is I'm like, I don't actually know if she needs one because, I mean, it's the cane. Like, it's her ult, but, like, it is just kind of her thing. I don't know what else you give her. Like, her heirloom would just be like a diamond ring, right? Because that's like kind of her, also her thing. But like, I don't know. Hopefully, I got my squeaky chair under control. It's never been picked up on a mic before, but if it had been, I apologize. I believe that might have been me. But either way, fight coming in here. Bursty wants more kills here. Dynamic and Bad TikTok trying to counteract the fight, but Wraith Too Thick gonna go down. He is on that thick boy, and oh man, TikTok is gonna have to try to get away here. Everyone's going down on RGR, and I don't think there's any way he gets away. He doesn't have the Wraith ability. I don't know, let's see.
You can't outrun an Octane. There's still an Octane alive for this team in pursuit, and you're not gonna get away very easily.
We might get this bat off and kill 3 though. the triple collat with the Eva. Here it comes. Oh, just keep running now. Always running into a team crafting. Oh my Lanta.
Yeah, had to hit the brakes whether he needed to or not. There's just nowhere else to go.
Look at this.
Maybe he's able to stay alive there for a little bit longer, but Buff Pathfinder, they
So
seem to
smart.
have stopped chasing.
So smart. Look at it. They come outside because they know that this is the high ground. Also, this is the most unique circle we've seen all day because they've all been within 20 feet of that bridge. And we're finally getting over here.
Yeah, finally a little bit of deviation in the map
who is
here
this?
for the end game. Buff Pathfinder coming in. Dre looking to get this kill onto the zip line, tracks that shot, but only does 14 damage, still stays with it, and that's going to be enough to finish off CCO. Aurora was the only member standing from that team. That was the team that lost too early in Geyser, so they do find themselves going out 7th, which is much better than 18th. Still though, Buff Pathfinder not out of this fight yet, taking down Gaza, and I do believe that is that team finding their way out. Was that ranked as harder? I believe it was.
I don't even know. Doesn't even matter because whoever it was is out of the game. You know, Buff Pathfinder all with red armor right now. Bursty barely staying alive. That nade hits him while he's putting that bat on. It doesn't do enough damage, but Bursty might get caught out here. No bubble on deck just yet, but no shots hit him. Buff Pathfinder making it happen right
Look at
now.
that. Kill leader with 9.
Yikes.
Shroom has a pair. I do believe Dre has 3 right now. This team still, there is
Yeah.
nothing they could do right now to find their way out of first place. It seems like every game, no matter where they finish, their lead is growing just because of the amount of kills they're able to farm up.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy. That position.
Yeah, listen, if any of you guys on Buff Pathfinder want to queue sometime,
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Or if you want a different org name, I could probably give you an org that would pay you no money. But we have cool
I
jerseys.
don't think they're interested.
We have cool jerseys. I won't plug it, but we got cool stuff. Just saying.
I don't know. I think Buff Pathfinder needs some jerseys of their own up on that
know.
CGL collection on
I
what's
know.
new.gg. I would
Well,
buy a
let's
Buff
see.
Pathfinder hoodie. I mean, I think a lot of Apex players, even if they didn't see this tournament, would probably buy a Buff Pathfinder
Yeah,
hoodie.
I know, right? Ooh, the straight up nade. It's gonna land up
Great
there.
thermite. Look at Caesar. I mean, he's doing all he can, but this has got to be such a stressful position to be in. We actually do see Buff Pathfinder
Ow.
rotating around to this zip line, and they're going to take it up. They're going to force Caesar's hand here. And I don't believe
Just ult
his
yourself.
time is very long lived here. Coming in now, Bursty. He is so confident in his play, takes the high ground, gets the kill, grows his lead to 10 kills as your leader.
Wow.
He's closing in on that 2K. 3 squads left
We
here.
are.
It looks like Buff Pathfinder may be the only team with 3 members left.
We are not worthy. But right there, I would have just ulted myself so you couldn't loot my body at that point. Because as Caesar, you know you're done. You're done, son. But I respect the will to try to fight it. But look at the banners. There's a couple
Ooh.
strapped up. Everybody knows who's the leader. And it's no surprise because we're going to see it again who the leader of this game is. Look at the tracking from Dre right there. This whole team is just on another
Insane
level right now.
plays
7
from Dre.
kills from Dre.
They've got the 20 bomb
17,
as a team.
8.
I do believe it's the first 20 bomb of the night as a team, but really, I think we're pretty much in our final fight here. It's between Buff Pathfinder and it's going to be Backburner, the last team remaining. We've still got 3 squads left, but it does seem like, I think it's S2 Alliance? Not quite sure. Whatever that third team is, they're being hunted. It doesn't look good. Buff Pathfinder and Backburner still in some strong position for either team to win this game.
Definitely doesn't look too good. Shroom gonna get another kill, which makes it at least 3 for him. Let's do the math, Burke. I think we're at 21 if nothing else has changed. Good lord, that's 21 points. That's not even counting where they placed. Look at these shots from Misspy. Actually pretty solid here from Backburner. Still in this game. Buff Pathfinder hitting a nice burst, but they're gonna lose. Bursty, the kill leader's down. Oh my god. Speaking of Bursty, look at Shroom. It's so many shots, but he's gonna get taken out right there. Pathfinder might be going out there.
Remember, it's all up to Dre. I mean, they've gotten 2 down so far. Dre is on the outskirts, but he is bound to get pushed here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to, I don't know. He's got a pad, so if he gets padded, he can get away, but they're just gonna take that. Oh my goodness. We've seen 1v3s from Dre before. do we see
We
it
have.
again here? It's the
He's
final
made the
circle.
play of the tournament, so do not be surprised if he ups his own game here,
He's
goes into
going
the
in.
rooftop, takes the positioning.
I think
Dre's
he's trying
got
to
this one in his
scramble him.
hands.
I think he's trying to scramble him a little bit right now. Wait, he's getting the banner. I don't even... Maybe just so he can armor swap late? Honestly, no shot. No shot. They give
What
this
an
to
effort
him.
from Dre, but members are coming up on the roof here as Misspots.
Yep, okay. Back burner. Gonna take game 5 right there. Again, that was kind of a tough one to even... We were just so rooting for the win right there from Buff Pathfinder because it would have been an absolute showstopper if he actually got them back. But back burner doing what they needed to do. We actually talked about him mid-game. They kind of needed to amp it up a bit. They're talking about teams that are just playing to have fun because they don't have probably a chance at getting that number 1 spot anymore. But Backburner making a really good bid here to maybe try to get that number 3.
Yeah, definitely pulling up a little bit closer. Like I said, they had to double their point total to get into the money. Not an easy thing to do, especially when Buff Pathfinder's having such a great game, but they were able to take them down and definitely get a lot of points up on that board for themselves. The story, though, still, Buff Pathfinder dropping the first 20 bomb of the night as a team. Very well done from them. Neely, I think they've got first place locked down, probably clinched, feeling great with $250 going in their pocket, almost guaranteed. Looking at the rest of the teams in the money between Literally Vibing, Dark Matter, Dream, CCO, and Backburner, who do you think takes second place?
As of right now, Literally Vibing seems to be kind of that team that's had some momentum, but when did they go out this last game? I don't quite recall, but they've been having a little bit of trouble. They had those 2 wins, but 2 wins just doesn't do anything when you kind of drop out early in one, drop out early in the first game. And I don't really know what they were able to come up with last game, but again, they went out last game, I think, relatively early as well. So Literally Vibing could be taking a step down, but this 6th game, it's a pretty big game to try to see who can take second, because as of right now, as you said, I believe it is a race for second. But either way, we're going to take a 5-minute break here, y'all. Going to watch some replays, and we'll see you right after this.
Welcome back to the CGL Summer Series. Our final game of the summer is on deck. Game number 6 of the night in the grand final. First place, all but locked up by Buff Pathfinder, who have been on a tear through this lobby all night long, but there is still money up for grabs. Our game MVP for game number 5. Look at this man, Dre for Buff Pathfinder. Had an outstanding qualifier and has really turned things up in days 1 and 2 of the final. 8 kills, 7 assists, 3,300 damage. Incredible performance from him. He's got the play of the tournament. If you haven't checked it out, look at the CGL clips off the Twitch channel. This man is insane at Apex Legends.
Yeah. That's the first 3K. I think that's why they chose him as the guy, because I was almost certain. I almost said it before going into that. Well, we know who our MVP was because it was whoever had the bursty with 10.
Oh my god. Look how close. 3, 4, and 5.
Wow.
3, 4.
Wow.
If any of those teams don't place in the top 5, they can pretty much kiss that 3rd place prize pool goodbye.
And S2 Alliance actually doing way better than I thought they were. Like,
They've
they're
got
not...
a chance to claw back in there too. I mean, it's gonna take pretty much a win for S2 Alliance, but they could make it happen. They've been in the final zone a few times.
You need a Buff Pathfinder-esque type of game. Also, 114.63 is the closest number to 114, Yelk. So we already talked about how that's kind of clinched up. How many kills, how many people would they have to kill to get in there? Because there is...
The lobby?
There is... Yeah. Could they do it if they killed everybody, Yelk? If they killed everybody?
They could do it if they killed everybody.
The problem is there's missing 2 teams.
Yeah, I think placement points, they'd have to kill everyone and make sure second place, Buff Pathfinder was like the first team they killed.
First.
That would have to happen.
Gone.
So
no
Buff
kills.
Pathfinder, and we casted Group A. I mean, we casted last week when Literally Vibing actually beat Buff Pathfinder by about 45 points.
And
so something had to
off-rolled.
change with this team.
Well, they didn't open on Pathfinder. That was step 1. They
Step
didn't.
1.
They didn't
Don't throw the first game.
I mean, and it's like, I don't. What's funny is in every major tournament, you always see a Pathfinder player. There's always a Pathfinder player. They never win anymore. Never.
No.
But there are just some amazing Pathfinder players. So it's really hard, I think, for those players to like really get off that character because they just see so much. They just see the value in Path. He's just not as meta. I mean, his rotation's not as good. He has a lot of issues. He doesn't have as much team play potential. But either way, I think if there's anything that you learn here from tonight, buff Pathfinder. You know, let's get him in these games. He's so fun to see dodging arc stars like we've already seen already. So either way,
I've seen like some great grapples up to high grounds, dodging arc stars. It's been fun to watch. We've actually seen a good amount of that legend, but not from winning teams like you hinted at.
sadly.
He's just not endgame. I mean, Octane gets you that rotation so much faster, so much more reliably. The double jump always gets you exactly where you want to go. Pathfinder doesn't have that kind of precision. The zipline can go anywhere you want, but it doesn't deviate.
I was going to say, the zip line is precise, but you can precisely aim at anybody on a zip line.
Yeah.
You can kind of jump on it a bit, but I think they nerfed that a while back to where you can only jump like 3 times. The jump isn't as big. That was seasons ago. But either way, I mean, they give Pathfinder a passive. Like, he doesn't, like, ever since they gave Pathfinder, every recon legend the ability to scan beacons, Pathfinder has had nothing special about him. He just got turned into a recon legend.
What could they make special about him? Like, say he gets his passive when he grapples. What could they give him when he grapples? Valk gets a scan when she goes up on her jetpack. Maybe if Pathy grapples, he gets a scan like Valk. Any other ideas? If you're in Twitch chat, I want to hear buff Pathfinder ideas right now.
Yeah, I think it's well deserved. But yeah, I don't want to see much more scanning. I actually saw a meme post, I think from one of the CGL guys, or maybe it was one of the... It might have just been a pro player, but either way, they posted like a meme post that was like, when each character does a certain thing, they get a scan as like a fake patch note. Because, like, you know, Sierra just come out.
When Gibby throws his bubble, he gets a scan.
Yeah, inside.
I saw the same thing.
When you're on Pathfinder grapple, you get a scan. Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. But I mean, yeah, I don't know what you could do necessarily. I think you just I don't know if you give it to him in the recon sense or if you just... I just think you got to do something. Honestly, I wish they could just give him Horizon's passive where when you land, right, you don't have to like recover.
Slide. No.
You get that super... I actually saw a video of somebody who took that off and dude, flying. I mean, you hit the ground.
Oh, yeah, they were grappling through Fragment. I saw that too on Twitter. Yeah, they were zooming.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But either way,
cool to see. That's a pretty good idea. I think that passive's on the wrong legend, if you ask me.
I mean, it makes sense because Horizon goes straight up, so what goes up must come down. So, you know, might as well come down gracefully. But either way, the story here, Yelk, is going to have to be for second. And honestly, third place. We're looking at Dark Matter Perp. If they can just pull through, get some kills, place high, they can come away with $75. Probably no trophy. Yes, only makes it for the best.
If Literally Vibing don't place top 5 and Dark Matter Perp has a game like they had earlier where they break 10 kills and they get some placement points, all they need 16 behind Literally Vibing right now. So they need 17 or more, assuming a Literally Vibing gets 0. We've seen a couple of 20-point games happen. Buff Pathfinder just got 20 KP based on kills alone, not even with the help of placements. So it's possible these good teams toward the top, they can definitely take care of most of the lobby, but it is going to be reliant on the team in second, the team in third. They have to fall early. They can't place top 5 because if they do, that job just gets made that much more difficult for the teams in the chase.
Yeah, absolutely. Haven't even seen that part of the map all day. Oh, team push. Dead. Oh, Pathfinder in frag.
Oh, Pathfinder?
I think they're just dropping frag. I think they're just dropping frag. They already know. They know. They literally just know. What? Oh my god! What if they had just done? They could have probably just done their ego play comp. Imagine.
I mean, they could have. They could have actually put Pathfinder on.
Or that, yeah. I didn't even mean that. That's right. I forgot. Literally Vibing was the team with the ego
Oh,
play
you
call.
were saying, yeah, literally vibing, throw on the Rampart Fuse Mirage comp.
I just
That would actually be cool to stick it to literally vibing, who have been doing that in qualifiers and in day one
I know.
of Pathfinder, doing that just to send a message. But
Yeah.
I mean, literally
Cross
vibing,
the
they're
bow.
not too upset about it. They're probably in the money right now, locked in
Yeah.
on second place
There's
with
no
a pretty
way.
sizable lead, but it's not set in stone. That is a team that could be really heartbroken after this game right here and walk away with nothing.
Yeah. Could happen, but I can't see it happening for literally Vibing. Dark Matter Perp though. Easily could happen. CCO. If they had, I think they would have to have an absolute monster game to get up in there. I think they were just on the outside. But either way, we're in Fragment. Fragment's hot. Dre and the boys. I think that's Snoop Dogg over there. No, I think that's Bursty. They're just rolling through. I love this team right now. I mean, just because they've... the teams that have been not doing so well have had nothing to lose, and now Buff Pathfinder, the best team, has nothing to lose, and they're just grappling up. They're like, we want this building. We're just gonna hold here. This is pubs right now for them.
I mean, pretty much it's being treated that way, and it's really fun when you get to see the top team play with absolutely no fear of anyone in the lobby. They're making all sorts of silly plays, like going up zip lines without waiting for teammates. We do see back-to-back getting some kills. They're getting involved. I mean, that is a team sitting outside the hunt. They're currently in 8th. They're at 24 points. 43-47 is where you got to get in the money. They don't have much of a chance, but any kind of KP you get, this is a great way to end the summer series. Just having some fun out there if you're out of the chase. But if you're in the chase, things are very serious.
There's about 5 teams right now that are just... I mean, it's shocking that they don't need a ShamWow to keep that controller dry.
Yeah, definitely sweating buckets over the joysticks right now. You're absolutely right. There's about 5 teams who are going crazy, and about 12 or so left in this game that are really just pretty much done with the summer series as far as they're concerned. But hey, that's kind of how tournaments go, and that's how the leaderboard can shake up on the final couple of games. Squad wipe coming through here. Ban TikTok's getting that down on the Bursty. Wait, Buff Pathfinder now in a little bit of trouble. They're having a little too much fun, but Dre does pick up a down with that L-Star. And they're not out of this one yet. Still have 2 members left, and the squad wipe comes through for them. Look at that. This team has no quit. They lose a member early. They get 2 other members cracked, but somehow they're able to hold down the streamer building.
Yeah. A lot of commotion going on for Team Dreams right now. But it looks like, wait, Banshee's down. Literally Vibing's out. They're out.
They're out.
Wait,
And they're
this
out
is the...
nine.
Oh my god, wait.
They will not get placement points there. Not
Yeah,
enough
this is
to
a
just
pub.
lock down. This is a pub, and let me tell you, 8 squads left. The zone is still as big as the entire map. This is not like any other game we've seen so far in the summer series. And it looks like Dre actually just picked up 2 more kills. Shroom gets the squad wipe. RGR is out of here. Somehow, even though this is a pub, Buff Pathfinder's walking away with all the kills, getting rewarded for dropping hot at Fragment.
Yeah. Rip to our production team trying to capture anything. Because imagine trying to spectate a pub where everybody goes Fragment. Impossible.
Team Dreams, hold on a second. Team Dreams, if we could
in the money,
spectate
could be
Dark
there.
Matter right now, that would be
Yes.
amazing, because Team Dreams has 4 KP. That means they have erased Dark Matter's lead, and they're tied for 3rd if Dark Matter's sitting at 0 right now. So if Dark Matter, we've already lost a lot of squads too. Dark Matter could be out of this. I'm not even sure. The kill feed has been flying by.
Yeah, I don't know right now. You'd imagine anybody that was in the money wouldn't go Fragment, but Dark Matter, I know in the past, has been a Fragment team. Backburner. They were on the bubble as well, right?
Yeah, they're sitting there 1 point behind Team Dreams. Dreams was at 43, Backburner's at 43, and then S2 Alliance was at 32. So it's really between Dreams and Backburner. Matter, obviously, that 3rd place team.
Yeah. you'd imagine that all the teams that wanted to try to get into that placement just picked their spot on the map. Hopefully their spot wasn't Fragment, because that was a war zone. Oh, man. Now we're just, I mean, talk about calm before the storm, Yelk.
Literally vibing is out. Oh, this is going to be a long calm before the storm, because this is the zone is still as big as the map. Yeah, this is zone 1, 7 squads left. Literally vibing is out. So this is actually between, wait, is Dark Matter out as well? Dark Matter is out. They're out. So Dark Matter have actually let this one slip out of their hands. They are no longer in the money.
Unless they somehow got some weird, unless they got a lot of KP, Yelk. We don't really know. But I would have to agree with you right now. With...
You got no KP.
Oh my.
Literally vibing, got no KP. Dark Matter got no KP. So actually, we're seeing Dreams and Backburner. If they come in first and second, we could actually see them take over second and third place. Third place is already gone. It's already in the hands of Team Dreams.
Ow. Unless Backburner comes and takes that away, I feel like it's still more of a battle for third, because, well, where did 63 points? Yeah, I mean, you win and get 8 kills. I mean, actually, yeah,
Backburner to this point, I don't believe has any kills. Team Dreams has 5, so they're actually in third place by a point.
Team Dreams was closer.
Team Dreams needed 4. They've got 5 right now. Not counting placements, just KP.
Team Dreams needs to get it going, but they're running into Puff. Team Viral's running into Puff. Buff Pathfinder, holy lord. With the
Pathfinder
push. Yeah, Buff Pathfinder is full HP after this bat here. Well, I say that, and Dre's got to heal a bit, but first he's full HP, and he's got the arm shield. Last guy's getting launched at him.
First, he's so calm. There's so much going on around him on the left side of your screen, but he really doesn't seem to care about the action behind him. Just looking forward at these trucks. He's got his corners checked. His teammates are giving him all the info he needs, and he's able to pick up that down. And Shroom able to get the second one on tonight. And Team Viral down to their last member in their last game.
Yeah, Bursty is so good. He might be the best player in this tourney. Might be.
He definitely was tonight, and it wasn't that close.
It really isn't. I mean, he had a 10-kill game at least.
I would say the other best player of the night is his teammate, Dre. And that could be because they're helping each other out. Their squad is not getting wiped as much because they're on the same one.
Yeah.
Other great players, though, we've seen Jaren. He was an MVP of one game. Banshee clutched for his team in a 1v1 duel right at the end. And he was previously statistically the best player in the tournament.
Yep.
We've seen Gladly Dreams and Vaughn. Vaughn was an MVP as well, the player we're on right now. Did a fantastic job in game number 4. So there's a lot of players out there who have had great nights, but Bursty has been a cut above. He's been the alpha.
Yeah, and he's on the alpha's alpha character. Just the absolute bully. I just call Gibraltar a bully. I know he's the tank. He kind of supports your team in a way. God, oh, he didn't get the dodge on that. I was about to say, look how easy that is to dodge now. But Vaughn does get caught right there. Just going to have to wait for the micro drones to crawl off him. And they will do just that. It looks like he's got an armor swap in there, too, which is actually pretty huge for them. Mamba for life. Somebody had to go to bed, it looks like.
No hard feelings there.
No hard feelings.
Mamba. No hard feelings. I understand it's been a long night. Could be frustrating, could be fun. Some teams clearly taking it the fun route. Some teams are probably over this tournament if it has not gone their way. But like we've said all night, qualifying for this is the best console competition you're going to see. Dreams needs to go in on this too. They got to chip away at the KP.
Yeah, because they already kind of have that third locked up, but they don't want to lose the third place to Backburner. That's the thing. And they're going to come in and take them out pretty swiftly there, Yelk. They might have keyed into who that was, maybe saw that they only started with 2 and just were like, yeah, I'll take the free KP. With triple take there, too.
Shroom just got 2 downs, finished him off right there. And Bursty picked up the
Caesar.
third and the squad wipe onto Caesar. So Buff Pathfinder,
Take
the
it.
kill feed is flying by,
Yeah.
and they are all over it in writing.
Yep. Circle 2 is starting to close. Ooh, big fight coming in here. Buff Pathfinder is down there, Dre right now. But a pretty good knock there coming in from Bursty and Shroom. Good lord.
This is against Backburner, too. This is a
Backburner's
team
out.
that's in the hunt for the money. This is a team
they're
that
not
is
out.
right on the doorstep. 2 members down, and they're facing the best team all night.
Ooh, I got a little lag right there, and then when I came back, I woke up with a massive burst out of the EVA 8 right there. Well, speaking of that, Bursty swapped his shotgun to the EVA. I think that's a pretty good choice when you're running the G7. EVA provides more of an SMG type feel. Dre getting a respawn right now. Is it right on top of the building? I'd assume. Because has to be. And he's going to get given all this nice loot.
Yeah, you'll never get back into a game better than he will right now.
Yeah. Also,
He's pretty much got half a lobby's worth of loot right there for him.
I'm about to just carry respawn beacons. More. I think if you play this game, you should carry a respawn beacon. So that if you win a fight and you lose a guy, you can just get him back wherever you're at. And if best case scenario, on top of a building like that, Heisenberg and Blaze, they have no loot right now. 0 loot. And there's 3 squads, yo. Could Buff Pathfinder put the exclamation point of exclamation points on this tournament? They've already done it. Needless to say, it's over. Buff
I would like to
Pathfinder is
spectate Bursty the rest of the game. It's going to be coming down to a fight between them and Team Dreams. There is a third squad left in the mix, but not much of a hope for them. Team Dreams actually...
Hey, our kill leader right here, Shrooms. Kind of been more the supporting cast to his 2 teammates. He usually is the one with 9 assists, but he's got the kills this time.
He is the Bloodhound. He can't really step into squads like his other 2 legends on his team can, but really starting to in this final game.
He's a very positional-based character, more than a lot. Except for when he ults, and then he's just the fastest guy in the game.
Facing off now against Team Dreams, and this is going to be Dre going in. Let's see something flashy. Hipfire in the L-Star, and he's going to waste no time breaking down this door. Finds a way into this house. He is going to be relentless in this. Goes in with it. Eva gets that crack onto the Gibraltar, finished off by Bursty. Goes in now to kill Vaughn with that L-Star. Great weapon swap right there. Shroom has to escape to this second story, but Hit Dreams is going to be taking him down and finishing off that kill pretty early. Thirsty for that KP, but Buff Pathfinder, they should have this fight, this game in their hands. One member of Team Dreams left to deal with a no. It's actually Heisenberg for CCO. They come in, and this is the final fight. All squads are left in this building.
Yeah, now it's down to 2. They're going to be getting third party here. They have their armor all the way up. Can he hit the Kraber shot? Hits it for 135, and that's going to be the game, young. Buff Pathfinder takes the tournament, takes the last game. Couldn't ask for a better ending than that right there. It's nice to see the team that won it all win the last game and close out the night.
We have our Apex champions.
And very well deserved from them. They probably had, 2 of the 3 members of this team were probably the top 2 players tonight, and then Shroom showed up for the very final game and was like, I'll be the kill leader this time, guys.
Yeah.
It's finally my turn. They were fully aggressive. You were saying it was like a pub all game long, and that's kind of how they treated it, dropping fragment. Great final showing from them. Exclamation point on the night for sure. But Team Dreams, you did it. You got some money in your pocket. You clawed your way back, and you got a win in game number 4, and you did all it took to take home $75 against some of the best teams on console in North America.
Yeah, kind of everything you can ask for. Team Dreams, I don't think they even expected to do this well. We definitely didn't expect them to do this well. We didn't really even have them on our radar. So to come in and take third, assuming we aren't horribly wrong, but I'm going to trust Yelk's very confident judgment. And I do remember looking at the teams, seeing who went out and how many points they got combined with their placement. Very exciting. But now we're just going to have to hang out here and just kind of wait for the final leaderboard so we can be sure of everybody's placement at this point. But we know for a fact first place is going to be Buff Pathfinder. Second place, we're pretty sure is going to be literally vibing. But they went out early too. Well, I say they went out early, but it was like a pub, and I think they went out like 9th. Still too early, though.
Still too early for sure, but probably didn't give up their lead. Still might actually have found second place there. Although Team Dreams really did make it close. I'm pretty keened in on this scoreboard. Team Dreams made it very interesting
I would
right
agree.
down to the bitter end.
And, hearts go out to Dark Matter Perp, kind of making a name for themselves throughout this whole tournament, qualifying, everything like that. And here's our MVP, Shroom, with the 1,660 damage, the 9 kills on the Bloodhound. I think he's our first Bloodhound MVP
For
here,
the
Yelk.
MVP. Yeah, I mean, he had a fantastic game. His team definitely was not letting him get those kills. You could see Dre and Bursty in that final building where the action was, they were coming in first. I mean,
Yeah.
Shroom was late to the party most of these fights, but he did a great job finding 9 kills in this one, and good for him. I'm pretty sure everyone on this team got MVP at some point. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually, Yelk. So I know you're right. Yeah, we definitely saw all
Yeah.
3 of them.
Dre
That
and
is-
Bursty got one. Yeah, Shroom finished it off. I mean, there were 6 games tonight. The squad has 3 people on it. They took home half the MVPs and they diversified it.
and all
Oh.
the prize pool for first place.
What a
So-
night. You couldn't ask for a better one. I mean, this team has got to be smiling ear to ear. You can see in the Twitch chat, Say Die congratulating the victors. He knows it's been hard fought between Literally Vibing and Buff Pathfinder. I mean, these two teams have just battled it out all month long in scrims, in qualifiers, in the Invitational. It has been so hard fought. Good sportsmanship there from Say Die, and really a fantastic job. Our tournament organizers, L4, did a great job. One of the best tournament organizers I've gotten the chance to work with, made this thing go seamlessly. Apex is off these codes, these private codes for tournaments. It's very hard to get a handle on. He did a great job executing the games and the scrims. And then the production team as well, captained by Shiro, did a great job observing the action tonight and all qualifiers and invitational long. So our final scoreboard up
Here it is.
top now. Look at that. Literally
Wow.
vibing, barely hanging on by 4
Oh.
points. Look at that. And Team Dreams coming in with 61, solidifying
Wow.
that place in third.
Yeah, Backburner really didn't end up being very close. Dark Matter got basically trampled over by Team Dreams there. And then, we got the rest of the teams. 11 and down, we're just like, yep, we knew a while ago where we were at. Ranked is harder, though,
Buff
surprisingly low.
Pathfinder had more than double Literally vibing. That's crazy. You could take second and third,
Yeah.
put them together, and you wouldn't beat Buff Pathfinder. 99 kills. Oh, one away from 100. But still, 99, the great one.
The great
Gretzky.
one. The Gretz. That's tough. Back to Kim. Sorry, we just had a moment.
The moment. Had a
then-
hockey moment right
Had a
there.
hockey that no one else would understand. Well, unless you like hockey. But wow. It's been a long
Talk about
night.
hockey for 1 second, and Neely's brain is just
It's
fizzled.
been a long night. I almost said that Backburner won. So
Wayne Gretzky won. Congratulations,
He
Wayne
won.
Gretzky, best Apex Legends player of all time.
Well, either way, let's just run it down the list, even though it's not in front of us. But we got Buff Pathfinder in first, Literally Vibing taking second, even though it's probably one of the, I hate to say it, it's probably their worst night showing, and they still kind of did really, really well because they got second place. And then finally in third, taking home the third prize pool is going to be Team Dream, which, by the way, they all had Dream in their name. Look at that, teams. It makes it so much easier to cast and then follow who you are. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, something in the clan tag too. Viral has the VL. I love that. Very
Yeah,
easy to tell.
Love it. That's what good orgs
Love it,
do.
love it.
Good orgs do that. They make it easy for everyone to. It's called branding. It's not just for me. It's called branding. But either way,
Talking about branding, I got
Yeah.
one thing left to say before we wrap up
Yeah.
this tournament. Give it a follow, folks, right there at alt_charge for me at Neely Casts for him as he tries to locate where that thing is under us, right there. All right.
there.
And then make sure to
Also-
follow Console Gaming League at
Yep.
Console Gaming LG. Check out the merch store at what'snewNEU.gg. Search the Console Gaming League collection and Buff Pathfinder.
Yes.
Congratulations. You're going to be getting a trophy from your engraving supply. Thanks to our partners there for providing. Neely, I'll toss it back over to you for your final thoughts on the tournament.
I mean, no more final thoughts. Thank you to all our sponsors, all the people helping us out. Thank you, Yelp, for casting tonight with me, and thank you, Buff Pathfinder, for making this an absolutely exciting night of Apex to close out the summer series for CGL. We'll catch you guys on the next one.